take us to get into the Dark World?
Yep. The Dark World access is going to be the same as always. Not too much keys stop you from getting to that point.
Yeah. And that's kind of the other thing about these Keysanities is it's far often than not less likely to have Aga-required seeds. Though we've already seen a couple, but, you know...
When they happen, they kind of throw it in your face. You either see something at Lumberjack or you get like keys just tossed it. When you're like, well, I guess I'm going there sometime soon.
Right. Yeah, especially because now it's like, well, now you need 2 swords or a sword and a cape, and then you need the lamp, and then you need both the keys to get through Aga Tower. So...
Yeah. And if you don't have the pearl, you need the boots for the Lumberjack tree. So there's just so many requirements to...
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we have one of those today. But it looks like both our players are going to start in the same route. So to break it down, you guys, Keysanity, essentially all the dungeon items. Oh, and big 20s from the tier 1 tree pull. That's a really good start. All the dungeon items, including small keys, big keys, map, compass, are thrown in with the general pool of items. So, we could find a big key right here, or a map to Eastern Palace. And so generally a lot of players have to check far more. Wow. I keep on getting interrupted because this is like a really nice start. You get rubies for bottle vendor and already bombs. So like Kakariko is like perfect.
Yeah, it's up to Kakariko to get another tree or pull or 2 off here. So you're pretty rich going through here.
And there's some more bombs.
It's, both players taking the exact same path as well, which is interesting because you could either take the south path or you could even decide to delay Kakariko if you wanted to. But same path exactly from each of them.
And what do we got? Just a big 20 on Lumberjack.
It's looking good.
So far, so good. But yeah, other things worth noting is that suddenly maps and compasses have a little bit more value. Not so much compasses, but definitely maps, because the difference in Keysanity is you don't know what the dungeons hold, if they're a pendant or a crystal, until you find that dungeon map. So we've already seen the Eastern Palace dungeon map, and apparently it is a crystal. I must have missed that.
I missed the map check as well. Must have been flaafykins. I don't think I was watching his screen his or her screen as they left Sanctuary, so that might have been when.
Yeah, she must have checked it then. Am I good now? Am I synced up, or am I still behind?
I think you are synced up.
Okay, cool. Good.
Finally making it to town. It's about the usual time you'd expect them to get here, so a lot of items coming our way very soon.
Yeah, going into Kakariko with money and bombs is just to make routing this a lot easier. You probably don't have to stop at the bomb vendor.
Yeah, one thing that Emo did that might make her not take that vendor check at all is that she pulled the crab's little bush off of its head and took 8 bombs out of it. So she's actually at the cap, whereas Flappy just walked by it and didn't grab it.
Oh man.
So there's a little edge there.
Yeah, and a lot of times, especially in the early game, if we don't find like an early weapon, like a sword or a hammer or a hook shot, oftentimes bombs are like the choice weapon for taking out the mini Moldorns in Mini Moldorn Cave. So
and almost never do I find a sword in Kakariko. You get good at those bomb throws.
Definitely. And if players are feeling gutsy, they can also try and go through Hyrule Castle with bombs alone. As far as you know, you only need 5 bombs to get all the way down to Zelda's Cell, but it's kind of annoying when you don't have a stunned enemy or a stunned weapon or something like a boomerang or hookshot.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of a hassle doing that. Another interesting thing is that I think Flaffy actually took extra bit of time to pull another tree, so she has a bit more money. And we got the Moon Pearl already as well.
Early Moon Pearl. Not sure what to make of that quite yet. We still have far more things to check out.
Yeah. It's nice to get, though, because sometimes you get the tools to go into the Dark World, and you're just you start to go in and you just realize, I don't have Pearl yet. What am I doing? It's nice to get it out of the way early.
Nobody makes that mistake. What are you talking about?
It's a lot of maps. That one doesn't matter at all, but it's been a lot of maps.
That one is... Well, maps in general, outside of now being able to tell what pendant and crystal dungeons each one is maps are pretty useless.
Yeah, they are. But Ganon's Tower map and Hyrule Castle map actually do nothing, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, Mirror and Moon Pearl already. So Mirror isn't really that useful right now, but the nice thing is being able to use it to like spawn at the beginning of the dungeon. So if we somehow end up doing like Hyrule Castle and then you can mirror out to go check Sewer Chest, or who knows where we'll be. Maybe they can go up and check the first chest in Aga Tower or something.
Yeah, and another map on the library. So that's probably going to be a dungeon we're going to learn by completing, not actually grabbing its map.
Oh, and only 10 arrows.
Another interesting thing here is that we are the flute away from going all the way up to Hera, too, with that mirror.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, no big key up in Hera, or small key, so about all we'd be able to do is check those two chests.
Yeah, and with no way of hitting the switch except for bombs, it kind of feels like a waste of resources as well. So you kind of hope you get a lot more before you're feeling like you have to go that way.
Now, I'm okay with what flaafykins is doing, because oftentimes, especially in Keysanity, there's a higher percent chance of there being something useful over here on the maze. So just going through that and saving, like, it's either you save a little bit of time or you lose a little bit more time.
Yeah. I don't know the math on it on the Keysanity, but I know in the other one it was just not worth it because you're spending way more time than it needs to be doing it. So the loss didn't average out to be worth it. But in Keysanity, I actually don't know the odds on that. It might actually be better to just check it every time.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately for Flaffy, only having 2 bombs is not going to have enough to take out the Mini Moldrons in Mini Moldron Cave.
Unless she gets extremely lucky, because sometimes they just like wedge themselves through and change sides, and sometimes your bomb can hit both sides. So doubt they'd go for it though, because that's so risky.
I have one time cleared it with only 2 bombs before.
Yeah. Fortunately, she'll need 3 because she has to open the cave as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh no, Emo's getting really bad luck here with that. There we go. Okay.
The worst is when you just accidentally drop it in the pit and just lose a bomb entirely. Ooh. One more. Gotta make it count.
She waited too. Oh my god! I thought she waited too long.
Small key. Misery Mire. Small key. Dark Palace. Small key. Misery Mire. Bottle. Shield. Interesting.
Are we gonna call this small key cave now?
Oof. Flaffy taking a hit from the crab, already down to half HP. So yeah, that's just one of those things, like just having that little bit of extra knowledge of checking like the bush crabs can make a big difference, because, Emo is out of bombs, but knows where to get some more real quick.
Yeah, and it's good to see that Flaffy was aware that bombing that cave open normally would just be a straight habit. You go there, you bomb it open, you go inside. But thinking ahead, realized there's no way she can actually kill the Moldworms, so moving on.
Curious what Emo was looking for there. I don't think there's any bomb drops in any of those bushes. There is a 50-50 bomb drop in that middle rock. Oh, that's rough.
Crab's movements are really unpredictable. It's
so hard. Close. Well, this is going to be interesting for Emo. No bombs.
Yeah, she has no bombs. I'm not... Oh, man. Really?
Oh, God.
Please stop.
Please. Okay, going for the fake flipper.
Just bail out. That's a good plan. The Ice Rod Cave's a little dangerous right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
These crabs move really fast.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They walk so quick from side to side. It's like almost like they're doing like a crab walk or something. I don't know.
The worst part is they don't move at the same speed all the time.
For Emo, with Moon Pearl in hand, I would have just gone ahead and gone to the waterfall, set up the water walk, go check what was on Zora's ledge, and then go and check Hobo.
Yeah, because you don't have the money for Zora, so you're not going to be going that far.
Yeah.
So if you do the way that you were talking, you just get the water walk, check the ledge, and use the water walk to walk all the way back to Hobo, which is faster.
Alright, we got some stuff. We got Ether Medallion from Hobo, that is a sequence break. We got a small key for Turtle Rock, and we also know that Tower of Hera is the green pendant.
Some pretty good information to get. So another cool thing about Keysanity, well, in any mode, talking to Sahasrahla tells you the green pendant. I'm pretty sure every mode tells you the big bomb crystals as well. I don't fully know.
I know in this,
Yeah,
that's
in
how you
this
get
mode for
complete.
sure. I'm not fully aware of the other ones. I actually don't talk to the guy, so.
I don't read Japanese.
Going straight into Eastern here. Not a terrible play when you're a little out of bombs for some of the other tools you have to do.
Oh, wow, there's Zora money, and we got a big key for Dark Palace, so it's pretty good sequence breaking there.
Yeah.
Nothing, extremely tremendous, but might come in handy later.
Yeah,
Well,
this would
will
have been the
probably.
downside to doing the water walk to come back to Hobo, because if you walk all the way to Zora, I believe you lose the water walking.
If you grab the item from Zora,
Yeah, so you'd have to
you
dodge
lose
it
the water
unless
walk.
it's important, and if it is important, you have to just skip on Hobo and get him in a later take.
Now, unfortunately, I believe Emo's screen is a little bit too cropped on the right side, so we ended up missing what was on that Zora ledge. So we'll have to wait and see when and if Flappy goes there. Oh, wow.
That's a steal.
That is so huge. Not only that, but because EmoSaru did the fake flipper to get the 300 rupees from the waterfall cave to go get that hammer. So that is tremendous.
Yeah, that's gonna make a huge difference. Also, just having the hammer in general lets you kill so many things, so it's
Mhm.
having the weapon to begin with is a great deal, but now when if she finds a flute to go up to Hera, she'll feel a little bit more comfortable because she can hit the switches. She can actually do that now.
Yeah. And on Flappy's side, so far in Eastern Palace, we've found the big key to Misery Mire, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's a important key to have, unlike all those small keys we've found already for it. I believe we're up to 2 or 3. It's really odd to know that there's 3 Misery Mire small keys, I think, in the pool, and none of them are needed. Maybe it's just 2. I don't fully remember. Flaffy's gonna try some dark rooms here. Hopefully not too difficult. This one isn't so hard. You just kind of walk to the pot and grab the key, but it's
Yeah, it's a little
really easy to
bit.
take damage in it though.
Yeah, it's a little challenging when you don't have any form of vision. No sword, no boomerang. Um, I in my race earlier today, I was using my bow and arrow to see where I was.
Yeah, I I think it's important to just get the feel of that room so you can do it fully blind with no indicators because it's very doable, but if you're not used to that, if you're not like used to your own movement, I can see that being very difficult. Looks like she's on her way to that door here though. Yep, opened it and she's free.
Good work. Well done.
Yeah, had a little bit of a struggle at the start, but I mean, it's when that thing is pushing you around, the little enemy there at the switch, it's hard to actually get through it.
Bomb capacity upgrade. Bomb capacity upgrade. How did that Igor dodge that pot?
I don't know.
Well, that was a little overshot, but the other one went straight past him.
This is gonna be not enough health for
Oh,
that trick, unfortunately.
yeah.
I believe you have to damage boost off the other monster. To have
Yeah, you
the
need at least 2 hearts to get through it because you take half a heart from the Popos and then a full heart from the
yeah,
Anifairs with green tunics.
and if the Popo gets too far away, you're just out of luck. Because
Mhm.
that was 2 hearts there. Well, yeah, I think that was 2 hearts. So
Also, I wasn't aware, but unfortunately, we do not have the key trackers for our trackers for ALTTPR randomizer. They are only on the speed gaming channels. So I should have been taking notes from the beginning.
I didn't think ahead, unfortunately, so I'm just pulling up a HUD right now.
Yeah. Here, I'll track Flaffy if you want to track Emo.
Sure.
I know Ninban's probably on it as well. Emo having a little bit of trouble with that sewer chest. Finds it.
Yeah,
A small key to Dark Palace, so
it's oddly difficult to find that one. It's just a chest there, but it is so tough to actually line up with it. All
oh,
right,
now
so
Flaffy making their way back into Mini Molder and Cave, stopping at the Lake Hylia bomb shop to pick up some bombs. As we remember, there were, I think, 2 Misery Mire small keys in here and a pod small key.
I agree with that. That is correct. There's also a bottle, which could be useful.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess a fighter shield. Those are a little taken for granted at times. This is a pretty smart move by Emo here. Fully out of bombs. So just gonna farm a quick 20 there. Help her out through the rest of the seed.
So where is she off to next? At this point.
I feel like it's gonna be a Sick Kid turn in.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
there.
So yeah, in general, what we have left, we have Sick Kid, Agana's Cave,
There's no way to get to the first chest of Aga Tower yet.
No. We basically need to find Glove, like right here, or at Agana's Cave. Or a big 20, also
that's
good.
Good for Flaffy. Although no one's seen Ice Rod yet, have they? Emo didn't go there because of the low health situation, and Flaffy didn't make it.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
I don't
true.
think anyone's actually been. This could be the answer, which would help Flaffy a lot, because Emo might not be back here for a long time. And with Sick Kid not paying off, the lack of...
oh, there it is!
Yep, there it is.
There's the glove. Wow. So that's good for Flaffy.
Yeah,
it opens
access
up
to the back of Escape.
Back of Escape, and...
Is that it?
Even well, yeah, by the logic, yeah. But it also does open up a sequence break up to Death Mountain. Oh, no.
Those crabs are vicious.
Straight bamboozled.
I'm always scared to go near them when they're at the end of their path, because they choose their direction so quickly, you don't have any time to react. Turtle Rock small key, that's what it was. Forgot about that one.
Oh, good call. I'll go ahead and mark that too. Oh yeah, Easter Palace was a crystal. So now Flaffy is going to be doing the fake flipper. Assuming she does everything that Emo did, we'll end up walking away with Ether, a hammer, and hopefully give us that knowledge about what's on the ledge.
Yeah, and oh wow, that's a good point. The second Flaffy gets that hammer, she's got Dark World access.
Yeah, there it is. Just like that.
Consider that. And Emo is not on the path to get those gloves, so she might even go to Agna before she finds that.
Yeah, there's 2 really convenient setups for setting up the. Oh no!
It's so hard to swim in this
game. Gosh, you gotta double tap. You gotta hit 2 buttons interchangeably, but just trying to the whirlpool hitbox can be kind of tricky at times.
Yeah, that too. It's really hard to hit them, and once you miss it, I find the best path is never to go right back towards it. You want to like dilly-dally a bit, make sure the shot misses you before you try again, because it's so dangerous. But I like this play as well, just going straight to the back of Escape as a backup.
I mean, the unfortunate scenario is that Sora is within the logic completely, so...
I mean, this could have the mitts, and that actually would hurt more than it would help, because you're sitting on mitts with no hammer and you won't come back for a bit.
Kena Samaria, small key to G-Tower, small key to Ice Palace. Wow.
That's a good find. You don't need it, but that Ice Palace key actually helps a lot when you route the place.
Oh yeah, because then you can go straight and go right to the right once you get past all that stuff.
I'm amazed by how little health we have this far in.
Yeah, it has not been a very healthy seed so far.
It's typically you get like 8 or so by the time you go into the Dark World. This one's... It's not even quick Dark World access. It's just no hearts.
This, to me, is looking like a Death Mountain sequence break.
I would think so. She's not aware that the bush crabs have bombs in them. Hopefully we get a check on that right here. Actually, I guess either way you might. Because picking up this rock usually has a bush crab under it, so this could get the bombs. Oh, bad luck.
Is it like a 50-50 or something?
I have no idea, actually. I just called it luck.
Because sometimes it does show up and sometimes it doesn't.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's still
understand
very
how it
early
works.
game, and in Keysanity, you know, you miss one item and that's the whole entire game. So
So this is version 8, where neither player can see what they're doing.
this is pretty great.
So Emo was doing the dark rooms for Eastern and is on her way to get what we haven't seen yet, actually. And
Oh, this could be big.
Flaffy is on her way up the mountain, which actually has a lot of access right now.
Okay, well,
Oh, good hearts
that's
that don't even get
that's
to
so
the
good
full
for
one.
Flappy right there. Just a heart
Yeah.
piece.
Although it's gonna haunt her, and she's gonna go back for that at some point and spend another minute, which is
Oh.
unfortunate. Oh my!
That's
Those were the Titans.
okay. All right. So the only way this is gonna work out, because you know she's never gonna go to Zora anytime soon. Oh gosh, boulders and dead rocks, of course. But
having this little health.
actually, no. I don't know how this works out. I was just thinking, like, oh, what if she goes catfish and then mirrors and does Zora? But how do you get to catfish without a hammer or the flippers?
Yeah, you'll need to find the flippers. I don't know. Maybe flippers in Thieves Town kind of play will guide. Although Thieves Town in Keysanity, you gotta find that big key somewhere to be able to actually feel like you're doing anything in there. So that might even be the place they go.
First 4, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's. I don't fully know the routing of Keysanity, having not played it much, but I don't know how good I'd feel about going in there for that.
Emo checking the Agnes cave, and then that's going to be the last thing that she can do before having to go back over to Ice Rock Cave to get the gloves.
Yeah, and she can't even sequence break because no gloves, no mountain climb.
Oh, we got a crystal at Meyer.
It's good to know as well. And that'll seal it for Emo. Has to go to Ice Rod Cave there. And Fluffy is hopefully finding some flippers soon to help her guide her to that catfish.
Small key 4, Turtle Rock. So that's 2.
The other thing I find interesting here is that without that hammer, even if you get the flippers, you'd have to be going a little bit off path to get to that catfish because it's still a long haul.
Yeah, quite a bit. I like this, working out, going into the Dark World and then routing in, checking Sick Kid. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Even
this
start
is
with,
one of
with
the
the
nice
jukes. With the jukes on that
great
crab.
movement. It's one of the nice things about having Mirror early, with Pearl early, with Mitts early, is you can do all this light world stuff that you didn't get to because you were doing other things just by mirroring. So it actually saves a lot of time.
Oh, jeez.
The crabs
no.
are out for blood
Oh
today.
my
Oh my god. Okay,
wow.
That's the scary thing about low hearts. Like, if she had as many hearts as Flaffy, she'd be dead as well. Like, it's so hard to get by those without the hearts that you normally get. And in Keysanity, the hearts are a little more spread out, so you don't find them as often. I just looked away for C-shape. Was that anything good?
I was looking away as well.
Darn it.
Bad commentators.
Ninbang missed it all, so we're all screwed.
This is gonna be interesting for Flaffy, because it's one of those things where if you miss something, well, especially now with the mitts, like she just opened up so much in this seed, so the chances of going back and getting that hammer anytime soon are slowly dwindling away, especially with it being a very far out location.
Fortunately, without the big key, she's not going to go through all of Thieves Town.
Oh!
That is a good find.
Also, she picked up a sword. When did that happen?
That must have been the C-shaped. We got a sword. So We got a hype cave check already. I kind of like this, but at the same time, oh no, actually I do like this because she does have a hammer, which means she can go straight towards pod and whatnot. Whereas,
Oh,
wow,
hook shot. That's good
amazing.
find.
Now she can actually loop
There's the
around.
lamp.
What?
Big key Tower of Hera. Whew, that's some value up in
Officially
here.
hype cave. It's back at it.
So that gets Emo within sequence, the Titan mids, and then the ability to also just go straight over to Paradox Cave and do all the Dark World Death Mountain stuff.
Yeah, and the best part about that find is now she can go right instead of left here, hook all the way around, and loop back down to Stumpy at the end of it. So that'll be the full Dark World clear if she really wants to.
Yeah. I believe
Even
Flappy
with-
did pick up a small key in Thieves Town. I did miss what it was. Too much hype going on. Couldn't keep track.
I missed it as well. It looks like it was a Ganon's Tower key. Based on the HUD that she has active.
Oh, wow. There's the bow from Digging Game. And the flute on the pyramid.
Oh my god. This is a Gracie! And that flute opens up a quicker access to the mitts right away. And also the second you get the mitts, all of the Mire area. And we have the tools to finish Mire if it happens to be Ether.
We got so many like really good items, but still missing like a ton of the keys and big keys and stuff like that.
She would have to get a sword, but can finish Mire. Don't forget that you have to use those. Whoa, that was a quick 2-hit from that.
I think they do like 3 hearts of damage.
That's a really unfortunate one too, because you're not going back to Catfish ever again.
Oh no.
The anger slashes. Well, the anger fist pumping, I guess. Just punching the air there.
So for those that are just joining us, we've got a very interesting scene going on right now. Zora is holding that hammer hostage. EmoSaru did sequence break to get the rupees and then get the hammer, which was in logic, but the rupees to get the hammer wasn't, but it's rupees, so it doesn't matter. Unfortunately for Flappy, taking a death from a Zora snipe, and she elected to go sequence break up to Death Mountain, where she got the mitts, which opened up Dark World for her. So it's like a good thing and a bad thing, because all this stuff is available to her now, so she can route this a little bit quicker.
But at the same time, Emo's already out there with her.
Yeah.
But with a hammer, without the mitts, so a little bit slower for the Dark World access on this side of the map, but... Oh, she's going right up the mountain, isn't she? She's gonna be real happy with this choice.
Yeah, good call. Because then she could do all the stuff that Flappy just did.
Yeah, and with all the tools in her inventory, she can actually clear all of Death Mountain as well, and she'll be about to do all of the Dark World with it. So this is actually amazing routing. She's going to get everything she needs for the Death Mountain section, come right out of it, and be able to do everything in the Light World, or everything in the Dark World below Death Mountain. So this is actually going to work out perfectly.
And I thought I saw she picked up a Tower of Hera big key, maybe? So
yes,
that
you would be correct.
might also be an option.
Tower of Hera, as we know, being a green pendant, not the most important thing, but I mean it's still got a lot of locations worth checking, and it's pretty quick.
And no one wants to do the basement, so. Oh yeah, and Flappy died trying to go up the Death Mountain, so we didn't get to see what was on Spectacle Rock.
Yep, 4 health going up this mountain with no boots is kind of slow, and usually you get trolled by the boulders and the squirrels.
Flappy grabbing her hook shot. We got a big 20 on Spectacle Rock. There's the lamp, the big key for Tower of Hera, and a red boomerang inside.
Oh boy.
Oh baby.
I don't think you grab that when you have the hook shot.
Nah.
Without it, you might think about it because it is some form of stun, but ooh, opting to go down and across to do Hera last, which is interesting to me. I probably would have gone the other way. This is kind of interesting because you do have the mirror already, so you can't. It's not like you're locked out and have to do Hera last. This is, although
I mean,
Actually, I kind of like this because there's like 20 chests here that she can get a sword out of,
Hmm.
and those help a lot when you're.
I mean, I
dealing
guess
with
if you wanted to
warlords.
route it the other way, you could do Hera and then Spiral Cave and then Dark World and then all this stuff now. I don't know. I don't know if there's really any right or wrong way to do it.
This also could pay off really well if she finds any form of immunity, because it means she can also just follow up with the what's it called? Spike
Oh,
Cave. Wow, she could just keep finding great items on her path.
speaking of, Skull Woods and Desert Palace are our Pyramid Fairy crystals today. So that fire rod, very important.
Yeah, we got a lot of intel on our crystals. Just 5 more to identify. Oh, we have ice as a pendant as well, so just 4. 4 dungeons need identifying, only 1 pendant left to find.
Small key for Meyer. And nothing much else. But
Already
hey,
capped on Meyer keys, and you don't want any of them.
I know, right? It's that and Skullwood's keys are like so pointless.
And it's really, really sad when you find them.
So at this point, when it comes to dungeons, we have T-Rock, Thieves Town, Swamp, and Pod as our last. One of those 4 is going to be our last pendant dungeon, and that's the other thing about Keysanity is you want to try and find out what the 3 pendant dungeons are. So, because there's nothing worse than going through a dungeon and then being rewarded with nothing but a pendant. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's how it ends up happening. It's like you gotta make a 50-50. They could go check that map that was in the library to get a little bit extra information, but who knows? It could always be like Hyrule Castle or one of the dungeons they already know.
Yeah. My question for you is, if you see T-Rock Ether, what do you do? Or Bombos, which is also an option now. Emo pulling that Bombos from that chest there. So you got 2 out of 3 thinking about whether or not you go in there. I still say no, but
It's a good call. Good question. Let's hope it's Quake. So I'm sure those players are feeling the same thing. They're like, nah, I don't want to go in there yet. Don't make me do things. I mean, how many small keys does EmoSaru have right now for
that
T-Rock?
is a whole 1. So it's not looking good. That's a good point.
So
Keysanity, you absolutely do not do that.
actually, I think at that point you do, because you can only check that one chest on the left, the 2 on the right, and then the one in the chain shops, and then you can bail out. So it's a pretty quick check overall, maybe. Unless this is a T-Rock key.
Oh,
there's
no.
change of
Game is
plans.
yelling at her to go to T-Rock. I think that gets her all the way to the big chest section. You can't do the big chest, but that's where you get to.
And the cape.
And there's Spike Cave right there, so it's the whole route for Death Mountain was just given to her happily.
I wonder if she'll just check this and then bail.
Oh,
Bombos.
oh no.
All right.
She's making the choice.
Maybe she might just be opening it up. She might not actually go in. No, she's probably gonna go in.
Baiting us.
That's just kind of part of the fun of it. It's like sometimes you have to go into a dungeon knowing you can't complete it. And who knows? This could be a pendant dungeon, so maybe the stuff that she needs is only in like the first couple chests, and then she can never come back here, so.
Now, everything in this dungeon will one-shot her with the health she has currently. So
And
there's
the no
also
sword! She doesn't have a
the
sword!
sword. I forgot about the sword again.
She forgot about the sword. Ah, that's. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing.
I would say that's a good thing. You don't want to go in there with the chance of dying in 1 hit. This is also probably going to be a good mirror to dodge that. Flaffy is right behind her too. Let's see what direction she chooses. Okay, so she's going to try to go Hera first, which isn't going to hurt her at all because she has all the tools to complete it. But she won't have Cape, Fire Rod, and she won't be able to just quickly come back to Spike Cave.
So despite all that, we got a little bit of sinkage going on between these 2 players.
Very different item pool, but they are in the same place.
There's the other tunic.
From different places.
It's like the other day.
Comfortable with the red already.
Yeah. especially with only having 6 hearts still.
I cannot believe that. So many chests have been opened.
It was funny the other day. I was commentating a race, and both the gloves were in Kakariko, one in Bomb in the Well and one in Blind's Hut. And of course, each player found them in differently. So we saw two gloves in 2 different spots, which is funny. Yeah, here's the thing: we're gonna also get 2 different kinds of Moldarn fights, one with hammer and one with sword.
Oh yeah, it just didn't cross my mind that she doesn't actually have the hammer yet. It's that unfortunate crab murder, and then the
yeah, and then the
shot
fake
as well.
the fake
Really unlucky.
flipper death. Oh, there's a
Oh
sword.
man,
Well, that's good for both of them then.
let's just
Now
give
you don't think
everything
so?
in the path. Do you go back
Now
to
you both
T-Rock
get-
now?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the portal is still there waiting for you.
A vanilla small key in Tower of Hera. Wow.
Don't do it. Oh
That's-
no, she's going to the basement to check it.
Oh, why does she not want to fight Moldy?
Figure do it now and head back up and get yourself right out of the dungeon. I think this is technically a little bit slower, but
Yeah. And fortunately for Flaffy, having the boots able to bonk off the big chest, not having to go through again. And good use of bombs by Emo to set up the iframes here.
got a little dicey, but she still pulled it off, which is nice. I know trying to get it and messing it up is really frustrating because you're just either sitting there in the wall of it going, well, I have 3 tiles to dodge these in. So it can be a little frustrating.
Well, she also does have the cape, so she could always do that little glitch where you use the cape and then grab onto a wall.
Yeah, the
But-
infinite magic cape.
Yeah, it's pretty neato. All right, let's see
Master
this Moldy
sword.
fight. Oh, gotta be careful there. Oh, don't get knocked down the middle, please.
I can just imagine Flaff is really happy to have found the Master Sword right before this fight.
Yeah, definitely.
6 health fighter sword is not a comfortable fight. Ooh, that
Oh,
one
and
counted
actually-
as a poke,
Yeah, it's close.
but still a great kill.
Did
Did Emo mirror?
did Emo mirror out?
I'm gonna. It's not even flickering. She's not immune. This is just a tragedy.
Oh no!
Oh no, I think she is still immune. Okay, so the refresh rate of the game on the stream was messing with my mind as well. She was immune the whole time.
That's funny. I actually missed what Moldy had, but we did get a green pennant out of it, so
I got a little distracted by the mirror, unfortunately. We'll see shortly. And with that green pendant, next time she goes over to Eastern/Pod, which she has the bow for, she'll actually be able to find out.
true. Apparently, Moldy only holding a piece of heart, so
Mirror. Good.
Quake.
Well, doesn't matter what any of them are anymore.
Yeah, that's all of them.
She is an ether ahead of Flaffy though. Once they both finish Death Mountain, that is. Flaffy will get Quake here, Bombos, actually, yeah, Bombos and Super Bunny. And Ether, I don't fully remember where that was.
So the question is, where are those flippers? And are they required? Because if Swamp ends up being the other pendant dungeon, then maybe flippers aren't even, required in this seed.
They are by lot. Ooh, actually, no, they are not. My bad. Ice Palace is a pendant.
Yeah,
I
and
did not.
if Ether ends up not being required for Meyer, then
Yep. It is
interesting.
not often that you see both flipper required dungeons a pendant.
Yeah, same.
It's usually just one and you just sequence break the other.
Mm-hmm. And Flaffy realizing that she does not have a hammer, so she cannot go that route. Fortunately, having a hook shot can go this route instead.
Yeah, and additionally, without the hammer, you can't do Spike Cave right now. So, well, I mean, without the cape that's on the right side, I guess you wouldn't want to anyways.
Oh, Emo, please. Wow. Talk about hitbox.
Free pokes.
Nice.
It's a wonderful time.
Nice use of hammer there to take out Moldorm. So curious to find out what the hospital's holding on to.
I like how the game's just slowly funneling them pieces of hearts.
Mhm.
Doesn't want to get them healthy yet, but it's giving them the idea that they can.
Yeah, I don't think have we seen any actual heart containers?
I think there was
Maybe
maybe
one.
two. And there's the spike cave I was talking about as well, just rounding out this really fortunate pathing that Emo has taken here. Everything kind of just lined up for her.
No. There's a fire rod for flaafykins. Yeah, that sword difference is very helpful at this point.
Yeah, the Master Sword makes quick work of most enemies. It's the best upgrade you could get.
Oh, just a map to a dungeon we already know.
Oh boy. Really want to find that. I wonder if the Swamp or Thieves Town or T-Rock are just sitting on that library, waiting to be discovered.
See, in my race earlier today, there was a map at Bumper Cave, and I actually went and got it. Unfortunately, it was to a map. It was a map to a dungeon that I just finished.
Ooh, she didn't go for the double hit, so she has to... I don't agree with fluting it, but... Oh, she's just bailing. Not going... So she was thinking about going back to T-Rock there, actually. Because everything else was clear, but T-Rock. And getting Squirrel Block there was the end of her choices. Flaffy's just going through the places Emo's already been. Just need to get Bombos here.
She could have done everything in T-Rock leading up to Mimic Cave. That would have been the stopping point.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of stuff to check, and an early T-Rock is not the worst idea, but might as well go do dungeons you can do, like Skullwoods right now. You have the Fire Rod, you can do it.
And when you're not allowed to use glitches to get you into the back half of T-Rock, it's not a fun time going through there a second time.
Yeah,
It's
true.
just a terrible venture, really. Checks the map for a little bit of information. She hasn't talked to the Big Bomb person yet, so...
No, she hasn't. But we saw someone go through the laser bridge and then use that back door, and then mirrored out and left to, I don't know, go get more magic or something, and then came back, dropped down, and went back in. So, oh, there's the flippers. Wow. So that suddenly
everything's locked in now.
Well, we don't have the small key for swamp, so. Oh.
Yeah.
There is a map on Floating Island. That might be worth getting.
Another map. Interesting. So we know of 2 maps. There are, I believe, 4 left. Hyrule Castle. Well, actually, there's more than that. I'm just going off of what we actually know. So maybe there's more than 4. I think there's like 6 now, actually.
Honestly, I think it'd be a good idea to grab that map.
Yeah, there's about 50% chance of it being new information. So. Oh. That's rough.
You could say this. Just hook to that, and then hook to
it.
Yeah.
A little bit of hovering,
Just yeah, no big deal. Yeah, that's the other thing is Flappy's has been able to do the entirety of this with boots, having gotten the boots relatively early in the first chest of Thieves Town, I think. So.
Yeah, that boots is making up for some of the unfortunate no hammering and just generally not taking the perfect route that Emo took through Death Mountain, because her route was just flawless for getting through there, just by chance.
If I recall correctly, Emo did skip out on Spiral Cave.
That sounds correct, because I didn't see her in there for like 30 to 40 minutes, because she doesn't have boots, so...
Let's see this Mothliel fight. Half magic, Fire Rod.
Kinda free.
Not too bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Just so.
Not an important Spiral Cave, so it works out well for Emo, and she might even just forget about it and never check that ever again, because it's the only location on Death Mountain she hasn't seen, aside from Ether Tablet.
And with that, EmoSaru picking up her first crystal.
It's 45 in. That's actually pretty... It's surprisingly not slow if you think about the fact that it's Keysanity, but...
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel amazing compared to when in open mode you could get them at like 20. It's a trek. She is on her way to finding both bow and boots though, and her Master Sword, which are all in the overworld coming up. Not overworld, but dark world village bedcast area.
And it looks like our players are about to swap places right now. Flappy going to be going in and finishing up Skull Woods, while I could probably see Evo popping in to Thieves Town. I wonder if we'll see a trip over to check, North of Graveyard, Bumper Cave.
Yeah.
Have we even seen Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb yet?
No, because I believe Flaffy got them and went straight back to the mountain instead of going to Sanctuary and bonking into them, so she has not been to them yet.
Gotcha.
And it's just, you can see how noticeable the hammer has been. With, just letting Emo go through all of this for the first time with all the items shared he needs. Which worked out really well for her. It wasn't a sequence break fully, but Zora can really be a troll.
Some player syncage.
Yeah, we got different options here. Now, this is always a key, however, I think it can technically be faster going this way up and then left if you have an extra key, but no extra key, so you can't actually go that way. Unless that's
small key. Ooh, Castle Tower. She does have that Master Sword and cape, so and lamps. All of a sudden, you could check those 2 chests in Castle Tower. So that's got to be on your mind.
Yeah.
And she'll be picking up her flippers here soon, which hopefully will send her over to Catfish Zora and all that stuff.
What's actually really interesting is, aside from keys, if T-Rock is a pendant, Emo's basically in go mode. She's gonna get a Master Sword in the next town, along with the bow and the boots.
Where was that flute again? Oh, Pyramid.
Yes, Pyramid Flute.
Yeah, that's true. It really depends on what that last pendant dungeon is. Ooh, wow. Oh, what? That looks so weird.
I disagree with what happened there.
The Wall Master grabbed her right by the toes.
Might have been just some weird hitbox issue.
Stupid broken game.
I love it though.
It's pretty good. Yeah, we still are looking for, as far as I know, we still need a lot of big keys.
Yeah,
and a few small keys.
Let's see, looking at Emo specifically, she is missing looks like 5 big keys total.
And don't forget that G Tower big key.
No, 5 if she go modes ice, so yeah. Not even ice, because ice is a pendant, I'm just slow. 4.
Well, you know it's gonna have something required in there. Even if it's just like a single key for like pod or something stupid.
And it's gonna be in the big chest too, just to draw it out a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't get a quick go mode in Keysanity. What are you talking about?
Just an interesting seed. I mean, I think, unless I missed a few, Flappy has only a couple big keys at this point.
Yeah, Emo only has 3. And one of them already used in Hera, so that doesn't help her anymore.
So with that small key there, how many Turtle Rock keys does that bring Emo to?
That would be her 3rd.
Okay. So that's the ability to full clear minus the middle chest.
Yeah, and without Ice Rod, you're probably going to that middle chest, but
Flappy opting to use that green potion probably only needs maybe one more hit, but these spikes and how broken this boss is,
yeah,
better safe than dead.
Those beams hit somewhat hard. I guess in red mail it's only a half, but
yeah, but those spikes do full hearts. Oh man, GG. Whew.
Good kill. It's a really tough fight when you're getting bad luck with the moth just hugging the walls.
Mm.
And every time moth came off the walls, the spikes behind it were actually lining up to make it so that it would still take the 0 damage from it, which was just really unfortunate.
Oh, did the moving spikes also interfere with the
I believe they do.
stupid broken game?
It's frustrating.
Speaking of frustrating, Emo still walking past.
Yeah, she was unwilling to take that Thieves Town dive, which
And now that
has
she's
results.
got, yeah, probably gonna fully commit to Frog, Purple Chest, and all that stuff. So
Yeah, fortunately, it's no save and quit matter here with the mirror in hand. Picked up from the tavern, not very far away.
all right, and so that minus the big chest, that's a full clear of Skull Woods for both players. So what is the next play for Flaffy at this point? I would kind of like to see, with Hookshot in hand and Flippers, to go straight east and check Bumper Cave, all that stuff, and then go straight to Catfish, Mirror,
Yeah,
get
I
the
definitely
hammer,
agree with that.
all of that stuff.
She has done all of the south, so it would be a good play right now to do that. Seems to be where she's going as well, which is nice.
Looks like she's
And
trying to set up the water walk too, but let's see if she got it. And Emo using the nice little fake powder glitch. Will she be rewarded? No! Well, kind of. Big 20s are pretty important.
yeah, actually helps a lot if she doesn't get any rupees because it is exactly the amount I believe she needs for both digging game, chess game, and Kiki.
Oh, true.
That might actually
110.
line up.
How much is chess game? 20 or 30?
Cannot remember. It might be 20. So that is a 210 total. Oh, she already did the chess game, so it doesn't matter. So she's fine.
Small key from Bonkrox to Skull
Sad Woods.
No point in even marking that. That would actually have been really nice if she had that earlier, because then she could have routed. The nice thing is, like, if you go in that first skull door in Skullwoods and you have a small key, you could check the two chests along the way on the left and then just mirror back, check the one on the right, and then go back and do the other stuff.
That's very true.
Well, fortunately for Flaffy, as soon as if she goes to the Zora area, she'll be able to get the 300 rupees out of Waterfall Cave to have enough money for Zora.
Yeah, and you're gonna grab the boots real soon. I like the effort done into that sprite as well.
The emo sprite?
Great sprite dev team.
Yeah, shouts to our sprite team. I need to work on my Willard sprite, which is just going to be Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? All right, we're going to see our first King's Tomb check.
Yeah, Flaffy using the cool trick where you can just hold your sword out, hug against it, and just press A to open it instead of bonk into it. I don't believe it saves time at all, but
it looks cool.
It's swaggy. I think the way the save time is if you hook dash for spin speed and just open up that way. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, this looks like she's making the play. Like, I can't imagine her going anywhere else in this direction without beating that hammer.
I could see her being a little torn going that direction
without the
she won't
rupees.
have the rupees, but I mean, with waterfall and the ledge to check, you still have to go there. There's that's too many chests to leave out just because you don't have the rupees for Zora.
Well, hopefully she doesn't just check the mushroom and then bail.
Yeah, the catfish is right there. This is the closest you'll ever be. So
yeah, that's true. And we haven't seen catfish because EmoSaru died on the way there. But
yeah, the Popo or whatever that's there. I don't remember what their names are.
Just a bomb upgrade and buying a blue potion.
Oh no, I've done that so many times. It makes me upset when I do that. I'm sure she won't feel too great when she realizes the lack of money after the waterfall. Maybe she just doesn't think she'll have the money to begin with, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of counting on a 300. That's kind of unreasonable to guess at to begin with. So I don't blame her.
What do you do when you're only 40 rupees away, though?
I might have bought maybe a red, or because you have half magic, that would have been enough. But that's just unfortunate. Ooh, a pod key. That's actually really useful for Emo there. If she does not hit go mode by the time she reaches pod, that key is going to be pretty important.
Just 10 arrows from Catfish, so nothing really of value. The other thing is Flappy does also need to make her way over to the pyramid to get that flute, so... But the only... I don't know, when do you route that in unless you're doing, like... Unless you have the means to do desert. If you can do desert, and then you could do pyramid fairy into pyramid check.
Yeah. Another thing too is when the route she was taking, you could just throw the bottle in and get a free potion that way.
Yeah.
I never
I mean,
think
you're
about
not always
it, but
you're not always guaranteed to get something useful, but
yeah, I don't think I've ever thrown my. Ooh, that's where the shovel is. It's good to know.
so that's what it was. So what does she do? What's the stunned enemy drop?
And I don't think Emo knows that's there because Emo has a tracker that lists all that stuff for her, and it is not listed on her screen. So she
Well,
might not have even seen that shovel.
Here's the thing. Flappy skipped out on getting that shovel, so she is intending to go farm rupees now to go right back.
And 39 away, you don't just kill things and hope. That's a little risky. You're going to be spending probably upwards of 2 minutes killing stuff to not even get the money.
But it looks like she's gonna
go for that.
She's gonna go farm some rupees from this one spot over here.
Yeah, that's not a terrible choice, and I believe she hasn't been to Agana either, so she could route that in.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or maybe she... No, she hasn't.
Well, we're gonna see our first Sahasrara check as well as Pod. Emo has 4 small keys and the big keys, so the means to completely finish Pod. We don't know if it's a pendant or crystal, so...
She will have to do some shenanigans with those keys, though.
Well, hopefully she remembers to check Sahasrara afterwards. Hopefully.
She might come up with a bomb jump for the skipping of the key door by the hammer chest in vanilla, also known as the hammer jump. And then for the last key, she might just skip the normal vanilla big key location just so she can complete the dungeon and come back for that later. Because you really don't want to waste all your keys and not kill Helma when it's a crystal and when you're inches away from go mode.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, 4's...
It's good enough.
Let's see.
You have to leave
honestly...
one door and a hammer jump.
See, here's the thing. I would have, if I was Emo, I would have gone through the bow section and
yeah, because that would have definitively
hammer
given her everything. You're
then
right,
she
that
could
was
always save a key that way.
I don't know if I'd call that a blunder, because it's you almost never think about that. It's Keysanity, so it's not really on your mind. But it is a good point. If you go in here with 4, you don't want to open that front door without if you have all the tools to complete the dungeon, because
Right. Well, it's one of those things. It's like you want to always save that one key just in case you have to come back and just kill Helma. Like, you don't want to go looking around. The last thing you want to do is have to look for a small key for go mode when you could have had go mode earlier. But
flaafykins ether now.
Yeah.
All medallioned up. I don't think I saw what... Oh, I guess she didn't mark it because she had it all, but we didn't see what Meyer was, and it doesn't matter anymore. Is this the famous bomb jump?
This might be the bomb jump. Now, that's one of the fun things about doing a bomb jump with each different sprite. Sometimes the lineups are a little bit different, so...
Yeah. I know a lot of different... Oh my.
Oh,
that
that's
is
big.
a huge find right now. She could just mirror right in and complete that too. I didn't even have that on my mind.
And there's the powder. Wow, so Pod really coming through in the end. So hopefully Pod ends up being a crystal, because then that's just 2 crystals. Boom, boom. Back-to-back mirror shield.
She's getting decked out quickly. Everything is in her path, and it's working out really nice.
So I wonder, with Flaafykins, with this route, I wonder if she'll go straight to Swamp after checking the shovel spot. I'd be curious.
Depends on what she wants to do next. If she does go straight to shovel, then I wouldn't be too surprised to see that.
Alright, moment of truth. It looks... Do you go straight to Helma, or do you just gamble on that one chest. Oh, she still has to check these two over here on the right side, but
Yeah.
that's kind of risky.
And there is that I believe she did leave the upper section still, right? Or
No, she checked that.
which one did she skip? The
She skipped
spiky?
the vanilla big key location.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I figured she would.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because had she gone this route initially,
Yeah.
and then gone through here a second time later, she would have. Well, you would probably would actually had to gone through like 3 times. So
Yeah, it would have been, well, you don't have to technically go through it that way because you go through the right like that, and then you come up top and bonk up the edge, and then clear everything. Wow, that's a good dig. And Emo doesn't even have the shovel and probably won't be going back to get it, so that's
Oh
probably
man,
a tempered sword advantage for the rest of the race.
yeah, that is enormous. I mean, it's Keysanity, and oftentimes you'll end up having players doing, having all these single locations left, and they start knocking down each one at a time, looking for which one was the right one. So there is still a chance she might go back and get that. But yeah, you're right. Chances are pretty slim. Oh, we are gonna get this map.
Ooh, I can't wait to find out. Please don't
Just
be
for that-
useless.
Be useful. Useless. Yeah.
Oh. That's reasonable.
That is very reasonable. And hilarious. Alright, so what's the next play? Do you go right into pod? Or do you go... Where do you go? We got Swamp, Ice Palace, Pod, Aga Tower.
Strongly recommend not going to Swamp with the Swamp Key.
But that first chest? Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Definitely.
I didn't think about that until about the third time you said it.
It's not a risk worth taking. But we are going to see this Castle Tower play, so there are 2 chests up here. And these are also those locations that people put off or just like, yeah, it's such a waste of time. But who knows? Might pay out in the end.
Yeah, and I don't know how much experience either runner has in Keysanity, but as a beginner Keysanity runner, I forget about this all the time, so this could actually be a huge deal.
Yeah, also, just that sword advantage is huge.
Yeah,
Especially because we still haven't found the silvers either, and, the difference between Tempered and Master Sword Ganon, silver or silverless, are pretty substantial.
And it's really going to end up being, does Emo just go mode all of GT if she gets to that point, or is she going to clear GT to try to find a sword or a silver?
Right.
Like that's you might even see her go straight to the skeleton room.
But yeah, the thing with
grab everything.
With Keysanity though, oftentimes I feel like we see a lot of gold swords. But we just get a can of Burna, which is useful, but probably not what Flappy was hoping for. Now, the other thing is, what I would have liked to have seen from Flappy is, if she was intent on going here, she should have gone into the Dark World and walked up to Pyramid, and then checked the Pyramid item, then mirrored to check Aga Tower.
Yeah, combo that routing in so it's a little bit faster for you.
Yeah, but it's, once again, just one of those routing options that you never think about because it doesn't exist except in Keysanity and maybe like Entrance Shuffle and stuff like that.
I could see that being a good choice if you get super early go mode, except for an item on Lumberjack, say, and you're already at pod area. But that's like 1 in a million seed.
So what did we get from Helma? It was a crystal. I saw it. It was a gold crystal. So
it was a crystal. It was marked on the map for a while, I believe.
Oh, true.
I just missed it the first time, and
I know Eastern was marked on the map.
Ninman caught it. We're good. He had it marked as crystal for quite a while.
Oh, there's Ice Palace Big Key in Eastern Palace. Big
Chest. I don't want to see that.
Wow, so that's 2 in a row with big keys in big chests, which only see that here, guys, in Keysanity.
Well, they've got a lot more to find, so I guess you go straight to the big chests and see what you get. It's a little bit unhappy with the slight mess up of the Igor room, and flaafykins on our way to find that flute.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she was probably realizing, oh man, I could have done both these at the same time.
The interesting part about this is when she gets this flute, she might think go straight to Meyer, And when Emo went there, she couldn't actually go in, so this might actually just save time for Fluffy going straight into Mire and clearing it fully.
Oh, is it because she didn't have a sword still?
She didn't have a sword, and I don't think she checked the medallion to begin with, because of the sword problem. And if she did, I don't think she had the medallion required.
Yeah, and also just the sword advantage, because no one wants to go do Mire without silvers and with only fighter sword.
I correct myself. She went there after she had all the medallions and the sword. She just chose not to do it.
Okay. It was a choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the choice. Maybe it was... Oh, she didn't have bow yet, and going in there with just a fighter sword, not a fun time.
We got a blue goo. I'm not colorblind. A blue goo from the Armos Knights and a nice little quick kill from EmoSaru. So that's crystal number 3.
Start marking these crystals.
Oh, now we're going to finally get that Sahasrahla check. So, was Moldorn required?
They kept us waiting. Finally
this whole time. And the answer is... no. But...
what is it?
That's good. That's actually useful.
Huge.
That's...
find out what this is.
Such good info. I mean, the thing is, if it's a crystal, then we still don't know if it's between Swamp or Thieves Town, what the last pendant dungeon is.
Yeah, and in the situation she's in, it doesn't really matter which one is which. I guess you'd want to see Swamp, so you'd have to find the Thieves Town big key at that point.
True. But if it is Crystal Swamp, then you gotta find the Swamp Palace small key. What's worse?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Not many players actually enjoy doing Swamp either, so...
Flaffy just pick up a small key? I don't remember what was in the Mire Shed.
She did. It was for Ganon's Tower.
Ah, okay. Less
Not
exciting.
a valuable key until you get there and you need the big key. Which, no big key yet for GT, so...
yeah.
It could be in Ganon's Tower, but there's still probably 100 locations left, so it's hard to guess.
Who knows? Maybe we'll be greeted with the beautiful Swamp Palace small key and G Tower to go into Swamp to get the G Tower big key kind of thing.
Did Flaffy grab that map in the island? I don't remember.
She did not.
Okay,
no, so we don't know what that is. So that
just
could very well be.
Forever.
Yeah, it could be our Ice Palace or our Thieves Town or Swamp or maybe something we already know, but. Looks like Flaffy is going to at least open up this dungeon. So we got some synchronized dungeon openings, so that's cool.
Now, did Emo map yet to find out what T-Rock is? I don't think she has.
Do it now, 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 do it now. Well, it doesn't matter. No. She can't complete it anyway, so.
And the music is random, so this does not tell us it's a crystal. She can complete it, however, she has to skip it. Well, she can't complete it, no Ice Rod, but she has to decide whether she wants to skip that chest, and if she mapped, she would have found out whether it's a pendant or not, and she could have made that decision a little more safely. So it's a little scary. Maybe she'll do it when she gets to Mimic Cave. Might have the...
In a race that I commentated the other day, it came down to a required flute in that chest, and I think my stance on this scenario for Emo is that if you're in this dungeon and you don't have the means to complete it, check everything along the way.
I agree. I think she should have mapped to get that information, because if it is a pendant, you don't want to skip it for sure. 100%, you don't skip it.
Well, maybe she can map. What's that? Dark Palace. Cave. Yeah, maybe she can map in the cave.
That one chest she skipped in pod is now available to her.
There it is.
Is that going to haunt her, though? Because that's been available since almost the start, that key there, so... I mean, if she had a sword earlier, she would have actually gotten that key and would have had to not skip anything in pod, so that's just a little bit of bad luck there.
Yeah.
So, basically what that shows is, no matter how you routed it, Flaffy's version of going to Village of Outcasts first, or EmoSaru's version of going up Death Mountain first. While EmoSaru's did look really clean up to this point, it caused her potentially a double dip pod if that chest is valuable.
Alright, so at this point we're still looking for a few big keys. I think you're correct. I think we do have all the items we need, right? As
Yeah.
far as I know.
Just that ice rod. If this is a crystal.
Yeah.
And the technically, she needs the shovel to get the tempered sword if the other sword is not obtainable. But I'm certain that EmoSaru feels comfortable doing a Master Sword Ganon.
What was that bunny sprite?
I
Was
actually have no
so-
idea.
Was it like a... Oh, she is opting to check that chest. All right.
It's a scary choice, but I guess you kind of have to at this point, because otherwise
Yeah.
you're backtracking to come back to this chest if you find out that it's a pendant, right?
Right. I mean, it'd be different if she had it. Like, let's say she had the big key, but she didn't have the ice rod. Then I think I'd go for the laser bridge play. But having neither, that just seems like a smarter play to make.
That's true. What she could do is, even if she doesn't check it here, when she finishes T-Rock, she can still map. She just has to leave through the T-Rock laser bridge door.
It looks like Misery Mire not really holding that much of value for Flaffy at this point, other than that crystal we're about to get.
Yeah, just a little bit of hearts along the way.
Hearts, rupees, arrow capacity upgrades.
Still neither player actually getting to the second column, or second row of hearts.
Well, Flaffy just got second row of hearts.
Well, that's what I get for talking.
Here's another little tidbit, or something that I used in my race today. She's gonna go ahead and fight Vitreous, so in this scenario, you might as well just like go ahead and head that way, and then when you're going on the bridge to go downstairs, just hookshot across, grab the chest, and then fall back in the hole, and then continue. Saves you a little bit of time.
I have never considered that. That actually comes into play really well with Keysanity too, because normally you go that way because you're kind of forced to get the keys. But with Keysanity, you can opt to do that last. And actually, I think that saves a lot of time. That's a good point.
That's kind of one of the fun things about Keysanity is just how different these dungeons start looking as opposed to normal Randomizer. And then, Randomizer was already weird looking routing compared to like vanilla game like NMG, and then all of a sudden Keysanity just says, "Oh yeah, well, I could do one better."
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool because by the end of the tournament, I'm sure there's gonna be some really cool strats on how you do the dungeons when you have the keys for it already in hand. Because
we're gonna have like all sorts of different setups based on how many keys you have for this dungeon and that dungeon.
Yeah, and already shown by that Mire there, the comment you made is already a better route than what you normally would do in NMG. And
Yeah,
then
so
the one
far-
we mentioned in pod as well, I guess, to save a key as well.
Yeah, going through the bow lock section first. Yeah, the only problem is because you end up having to mirror twice, because once after you check the big chest, and then once again when you drop down to check the vanilla big key location. So if you are short on keys, you still might have to go through the bow section like 3 times if you intend on killing Helma.
That was a weird pot throw. I've never seen it go.
pot.
Ooh. Oh, I guess she has cape. Wait, does she have cape?
She does, yes. She also has blue pot, so...
Okay. Yeah, with the cape, tempered sword, you can just kill it really easily. I was worried that she skipped those 5 arrows, which kind of useful on video, but with cape, half magic, tempered sword.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if you don't kill that bird, he'll still hit you. If Misery Mire requires Quake, since, it's a flying type, and ground is not effective against flying types. Yeah, let's hope that Vitreous is holding on something, because Misery Mire has been 100% bust, minus the crystal.
Yep. It's, Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Oh, what is it? GT, there it is!
That
All
is
right.
huge!
That is
I didn't think about the
enormous.
fact that Emo didn't have the T-Rock big key, so that kind of explains why she just went in and didn't bother checking anything.
In Turtle Rock?
Yeah, she didn't
Yeah.
need map or anything. I didn't think about that at all.
Alrighty, well, I think at this point you go ahead and pop into Desert, if she hasn't already. But we do have the G-Tower big key, so more than likely it's going to be just a one-shot, but, if Emo doesn't find that sword upgrade, she may check a few extra chests along the way.
Yeah, I would definitely, without silvers, without an extra sword, I would definitely at least go to the Stalfos room. Maybe even Rando. It's still a lot of chests there. The interesting thing to me is that I don't even know if
Oh,
Emo
another big
knows she got
key.
what?
Oh my
Which
god.
one's this?
It's Turtle
My
Rock.
God, Emo could have had that so long ago when she went to Mire the first time, but she didn't mirror.
Did she have boots at that point?
I don't think
I
she
don't.
did.
No, I don't think she did.
That's a good point. So
Otherwise.
she would have at least had the intel that there was a key there, but I mean, when you don't, oh my God, that's huge. Desert with all the keys.
Oh my gosh. All right, well that just opened up all of Swamp Palace, which could very well be our last crystal dungeon. We don't know. Uh, Flappy can now do pretty much all of. Actually, I'd have to take a look. I think
I
she's
think we're
down a couple
desert.
T-Rock small keys, so
Um, she's down one for being able to actually go mode it. We're also missing both the small key for desert and the big key for desert, though the small key isn't required to complete it.
yeah, Flappy needs to go. Oh, she might actually make the Swamp Palace play, and then we still have to get the big key for Eastern from the big chest in pod, and yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
looking
for the
okay.
most part, we just don't know if T-Rock is a crystal, and we don't know where the desert big key is, which is required. So keep on the lookout for those things, but we are going to see our first Swamp Palace play.
Yeah, and I think it just delays that map we're gonna get from Sahashla for Flaffy as well, so we're never gonna find out that Turtle Rock pendant or crystal. So I don't even think Emo knows she got it. I think that just glossed over her mind that she picked up a map and she just didn't care.
Get anything of value in Turtle Rock other than like a pod small key?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if for whatever reason Swamp ends up being the last crystal and Flappy somehow routes pod to not need that extra key, we could potentially see Flappy saving a lot of time not having to go up to T-Rock at all. It's pretty rare in Keysanity to not have to do a pendant dungeon, but it happens.
That would be really good for Flaffy if that is a pendant and she sees it before going there. It's just another. It's wild how variant a Keysanity seed can be from player to player. It's actually kind of nuts how many different paths you can go through these in.
Oh yeah, definitely. And how big of a difference just having one extra small key makes in certain dungeons. Nice little hammer dash there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. Kind of look nice. So hopefully there is no flooding of a key. I've made that mistake so many times.
Nobody does that.
It's so hard to avoid when you're not really thinking, you're just clearing the dungeon.
Yeah, it's really easy to autopilot sometimes, and then you walk up to a key door and you're like, I don't have the big key.
Yeah. And the worst part is you're hitting the switch beside it and it opens the section to it, so you're kind of guided by the game to tell you this is your next step, push the lever. But you are not supposed to.
Right. See, as long as you hit the switch and just run straight down, then you're fine.
Yeah, and that's just mostly because in NMG you actually cannot do this.
Yeah, this is a rando exclusive.
Yeah, or major glitches and whatnot.
But well, yeah.
We don't talk about those. Those are not allowed. No tempered to make this fight go really easy, and also not too many arrows, so she's gonna have to do some damage boost spins here.
Nice work. She does have the cape, so if things get a little dicey.
Oh, and a blue. She might take a hit after that ends. Yep, there it is.
Well, she walked into that one. I think she was fine, actually. I think she just barely missed
the
it.
funny thing though is it actually gets rid of sword beam, so that might just be a blessing. Oh god. I am nervous.
Wow.
That could have been like a
good
pixel
resource
or a
management.
frame away from something just happening to hit her.
And that's not a fun fight to die to. That Ice Palace, T-Rock, if you don't set up the door on Laser Bridge, EmoSaru, you know, there's a lot of bosses that are just not pleasant to die to.
We can happily see in Flaffy screen that there was a pot lifted, there was no flooding of a key. All is good in the world of Swamp.
Alright, well, Emo looked like she's gonna make the play into Desert. So she will be getting that. What was in here? Big key for T-Rock and a small key for
Swamp.
So let's easily see her heading into Swamp next. She's probably thinking like, oh, why did I go to T-Rock when I did? I should have waited. I should have checked here first, maybe.
I just really hope she maps. That's all I want.
I just want to know. Yeah. The funny thing
I
is,
still don't think she knows that she has the map because it kind of just it's a map. You don't care.
Yeah. If Turtle Rock ends up being a crystal, then we still have to find. Well, we'll find out soon enough from Flaffy here. Oh, small key to Desert. Okay.
That's important.
That's pretty big.
Chests.
2 more items over there. And another blue goo.
Oh, Emo, check the map.
Check the map, goof.
Portal was right there. Maybe she did on the way to Swamp. It just makes more sense.
Yeah. Alright, still looking for that Desert Palace big key.
Yeah, Desert Palace big key. The potential Thieves Town big key. I guess no, the small key isn't required for Thieves Town. It's not a thing.
Oh, it is a pendant. T-Rock is a pendant, so that is our last pendant. Therefore, Thieves Town big key is required.
I just really hope Fluffy finds it out before going all the way through T-Rock.
Yeah.
Although, at the same time, Laser Bridge has 4 chests, and those could all be useful.
Well, maybe she'll find Thieves Town big key in Swamp Palace, and then...
Maybe. But
maybe.
Could you imagine Silver's, a sword, Thieves Town big key, and Desert big key all on that Laser Bridge? So that's what we need right now.
I could very well imagine that, yes.
Those are the 4 remaining items that we actually care about.
Alright, what do we got? Arrow upgrade, big 20. Well, here's the thing. Despite how the seed's been playing out, our players are not that far behind each other. But at the same time, Evo has 2 extra crystals over Flaffy, so...
2 extra crystals, but the sword loss is a little bit...
Oh, Skullwoods. So, Fluffy will have to go eventually, you know, do Pod, do Eastern. This is not looking too good, though, unless Argus is holding on to something.
Yeah, the Swamp has, again, another wasted dungeon here where you needed to do it. Potentially, actually. Oh yeah, we do know that now.
We didn't find anything of value in here, did we?
No. It's sad.
That's so frustrating, because you're like, I could have go-moded this dungeon. Ah, dang it.
It's another dungeon in Keysanity where you're just like, oh, well, that was a waste. Whoops.
It's so funny, because, like,
but okay.
in open and standard, you know, there's still... Swamp is one of those where it's like, oh, there's 6 items in here. There's a good chance I'll find something. Well, when you take out all the dungeon items, then all of a sudden there's 10 possible items, and then you get through almost all of them, and you still find nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, dang
you
you,
get to skip those crummy locations that you can predict.
Yeah, we still have all of Ice Palace as an option. But it's like...
work here.
It's one of those things where it's like, do you go for the pendant dungeon? Or do you go for the unknown dungeon of Swamp Palace and hope you find a crystal? And I'm sure Flaffy is very ecstatic to find that crystal right there.
Yep. It's, when you do an entire swamp with no real reward, it feels good to know that it was at least required.
Mm-hmm.
Although, hey, maybe that chest has something.
Would be the first time.
He likes to do to you. And no floods on either side. Good work.
She's got 4 pod small keys, and she's got 3 Turtle Rock small keys, so I'd make the pod play at this point.
Yeah, I'd feel comfortable with pod here. Really hope she does as well. Perfect.
Looks like it. Now the question is, though, does she know the hammer jump?
Ah, that's actually really important, because instead have to skip 2 different one-item chests, both the vanilla big key and the spike room gauntlet-y thing that doesn't actually threaten you.
It's just one of those like nice little things. It's no different than like knowing Silverless Ganon. It's because you know Silverless Ganon is still technically a glitch, like a minor glitch. So you know anyone playing Keysanity, I highly recommend just picking up these little minor time saves like Hammer Jump.
They don't mean too much when you're playing in open mode, but when you're playing Keysanity, every key matters. It's the matter of go mode at that point, which is kind of a scary concept.
Yeah, she's about to find out that Turtle Rock is a pendant right here, right now.
Yep, she maps right here. Hopefully she does. And
there it is.
She does. So everyone knows now. That must feel good though, knowing you don't have to go to T-Rock unless you absolutely have to go to T-Rock.
Yeah, but at this point, it's like, all right, do I full clear Ice Palace? Do I clear a good portion of T-Rock? So yeah, at this point, we only need 2 more items, as far as we know. We need the Desert Palace Big Key, and we need the Thieves Town Big Key.
So confirming 3 emos, doubling over of Swamp here. There was just the Desert Key and the Blue Goo that has almost no value.
Yeah. Good.
I'm sure both players aren't so worried about potions now that they've worked up to good swords. Emo might be if she has to do that Master Sword Ganon with no silvers, but I think Flaffy's a little beyond the point of needing too many blue goos. Since she bought one earlier, I'm sure that's enough for her. And I think you actually found one.
I'd assume so.
I think she has 3 blue goos. Oh no, she used
There's another one in. I think there's one in Pod, maybe. But yeah, she did use a green one against Popula. I do remember that.
Yes, she's at 2 potions, so she's at 2 blue. So when she goes to Pod, she'll be up to 3 blue, which is kind of like you're set.
Yeah, you're good to go.
You're a happy person.
Half magic, blue potion, cape, tempered sword. Yeah, I wonder if either of these players are going to be looking for silvers. Like, if they get into G Tower and they're like, I'd rather have silvers.
Yeah, I know Emo is going to be wanting something when she gets there. It's just a matter of how much she'll check.
Yeah.
Who knows where that little big key is going to be. It's actually possible that it is on the pedestal. We don't have a book yet.
For Desert and Thieves Town?
Yeah, yep.
That's true.
It's extremely rude of the game to do that.
I don't know, usually if I don't have an Ice Rod, I'm already ruling out pedestal. If T-Rock has a pedestal and I don't have the Ice Rod, I'm like, nah, that's not probably going to happen.
This is another case of that Temper Sword making a huge difference for Flaffy.
Oh, yeah, the menu boss. My favorite JRPG boss. Alright, it's going to be interesting. I wonder if Flaffy is going to opt to go all the way around and go through the bow section again.
It looks like she is opening this up, which means she won't be able to go mode this dungeon, or at least even kill Helma the second she opens the door. If she does not skip the front part we're talking about.
Yeah, and if she doesn't use the hammer, do the hammer jump. And it was a map to Thieves Town, which is now useless, right?
Just when you don't need it.
Seems to be how it goes every time.
With that Hyrule Castle one, where you desperately needed it. And it was like, oh yeah, we got a map for you, don't worry.
So how the logic works is it requires you to have all the keys to beat a dungeon. So the game actually is requiring our players to go to Turtle Rock to get that pod key. How many pod keys are there? 6? Where was the other one?
Yeah, there is 6 total. We haven't seen it yet. Could be anywhere.
Okay. Probably another one in Pod or something, or probably Ice Palace.
Another one in Pod?
Or T-Rock.
Technically possible, yes.
I mean, it could have been that one chest that had the map, the Thieves Town map. It could have been a small key. Small key for small key.
Yeah, that is possible.
I'd like to see Emo go into Desert and check those 2 chests over there.
I'm surprised no one has gone into Ice yet. It is a pendant, so you don't really want to go there, but it's a lot of chests.
Yeah, I don't know. it's like you have Olive Swamp, which takes forever, but you don't know if it could be a crystal. So it's like, at least I'm gonna get a crystal out of this. Well, Ice Palace, it's like, I know it's a pendant. You know, sometimes in Keysanity, like, ignorance is bliss. Because, you know, you might route differently if you don't know what the dungeon holds. So.
That's true.
And looks like Emo is going to be making a play into Castle Tower at this point.
Yeah.
Nice skull spawn there. That's good.
Find it hard to believe that was there. The grass isn't that long.
I know, right? Stupid broken game.
This routing would be the one we were looking for from Flaffy, but it doesn't help Emo either because she's already been on this way. So it's just another way to get out, really.
She didn't have cape, or I don't even think she had swords at that point.
I don't think she did. She was not able to get through.
Yeah, all we got here was a compass and a cane of Burna, which doesn't really help us that much. So at this point, it's either go into T-Rock, like Laser Bridge, Big Chest, blah, 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 go to Ice Palace. And as a player, you got to be thinking, especially for Emo, I could easily see her going to Ice Palace as opposed to going back to T-Rock. But we'll see.
Well, now she knows where that blue cane was, and Flaffy did not do the hammer jump, so definitely has to take a trip back with multiple keys. It's kind of, as you can imagine, a major save in this game, getting that key save. Depending on how she does all of this, she might actually need all 6 pod keys. She still hasn't done the front part, so at least she's got that.
Wait, she mirrored out so she can go kill Helma.
I think she's going to kill. Yeah, exactly.
So she skipped. I guess she would have skipped the one chest in the back then.
Yeah, she skipped the one in the back and that front door there, so she's actually still fine.
I don't remember. I think it was a spare Ice Palace key, maybe. I don't actually
have an Ice Palace key.
She does right now, yeah.
Emo has it as well, so I would say that. Oh, I just noticed now. Emo just checked the bomb vendor and just learned what everything was. So maybe she didn't map T-Rock because she actually didn't know the desert was a crystal for the fairy yet. She never actually did that check, whereas...
That's highly possible, yeah.
So that's actually something we overlooked for a long portion of that conversation.
We're sorry, Emo.
Everything you've done makes perfect sense now.
She was probably hoping that... Well, no, she didn't. Maybe she was hoping that the Swamp Palace was the other Pyramid Fairy Crystal.
That would have been a huge play for her. Just able to grab it right away. Grab those arrows, you need them. No.
This might be that shovel.
Yeah, she is gonna grab it. Okay, so she does now at least either know there was a shovel there from the start, or
well, she's going to get a Temper Sword out of this, so that's going to even things up a little bit for these players. So it's really just going to come down to who makes the gamble. Well, it's not really a gamble. Who makes the next big play? Is it to... I feel like Emo's going to go to Ice, and Flaffy's probably going to go to T-Rock, just because she knows it's dependent. She has everything she needs to do everything except check that middle chest and beat Trinex. And Ice Palace stinks.
Snap. And getting some easy kills with this Tempered Sword here on the turtles, so Flaffy will be on her way to Helma real quick. And with a Tempered Sword, it's going to go a little faster than Emo's again. That Tempered Sword just saving time. Room after room, really. But that edge is finally going away here.
Yeah. I don't think we really have any other, like, lone item locations at this point. I think it really just comes down to the 2-chested desert on the right side, whatever the heck is in Ice Palace, and the rest of T-Rock.
Yeah, can't really think of anything else because we still haven't found that book, which usually opens up a lot more.
Book on Laser Bridge.
Book on Laser Bridge. You've heard it from Willard first. I'm gonna guess.
I only say that because my race had book on Laser Bridge.
Flaffy tried to do a few swordless hammers. They're actually harder than you'd think.
It's not too bad when you do have the red tunic, but you can still get a little.
Got
If he
poked a
moves
little
in,
bit.
if he moves into you,
Yeah.
if he bum rushes you, it's a little bad.
Took no noticeable damage, but it did just kind of throw around a bit, slowed it down.
All right, we're about to see what's on the right side of Desert Palace. It'd be hilarious if there was a Desert Palace big key in here.
That is possible, because technically you can't just sequence break a small key for this. Because if you do, you still have access to the other small keys, so it's not like you lose anything. So that is in the logic.
I feel like that's a dangerous play to make in Keysanity.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a crystal dungeon. You don't know where that other key would be. Oh, and it's just a heart piece at Big 20.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Flaffy going to be checking that one big key chest location, the vanilla big key location, since she did die in that room and wasn't able to check it. If I recall correctly, I think it was just bombs. And
she did grab the big key from Pod, though, so she will clear the dungeon as well.
All right.
Let's see if she does remember it, though.
So what's it going to be? Is it going to be Ice Palace, or is it going to be deeper in T-Rock? Or maybe it's Thieves Town big key in here to find Desert Palace big key at Blind, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything else has been covered at this point.
I mean, the worst case scenario would be like, here's the Thieves Town big key, but the Desert Palace big key is in the big chest, and the Thieves Town small key is in T-Rock.
Oh, no. That would be just unfortunate.
That'd be super hilarious.
The worst part is, without the... I guess she does have the big key, so she's fine.
Oh, there it is. Well, there's the Thieves Town small key, so whatever I just said, just...
Out the window. It was actually what you said if she went to T-Rock first. You were on the right path, but you had the dungeons mixed up.
Yeah, so Thieves Town big key is going to be in Laser Bridge. Alright, Flaffy getting her revenge on those anti-fairies and grabbing that piece of heart. So she's probably feeling a little sigh of relief, thinking, okay, good, this wasn't something huge that I missed. And good use. That room can be a little tricky, trying to set it up so you can just place a bomb, walk right in, you get the double switch, so you don't have to hit the switch in this room that EmoSaru is in right now with the conveyor belt. You just dash right through. And also retaining those sword beams to kill these jellies a little bit easier.
Maybe up until that.
It's fine. We can look past
the
these
bomb
moments.
jump, as you can imagine. Ooh, I think she... Oh, I guess people do the bomb jump that way. She recentered herself off the entrance pixel that you get, which I guess there's also a way to do it that I'm learning. I thought you could not move from your pixel alignment when you first enter.
I mean, as long as you're like up against the wall.
I didn't know up against the wall even worked. I often bring myself down a pixel.
Well, I mean, up against the wall first, drop the bomb, then move down.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I
don't
even drop the bomb at that height because I thought it wouldn't work. That was my understanding. I guess
there's
to do.
General gray area for getting the Ice Palace bomb to work. Then I've seen people do some wacky stuff to make it work. I'm like, that works? What? Oh. Desert Palace.
That's pretty good. That opens not only Lamola's big chest, but it also opens the pyramid fountain.
I mean, we still have a few more things in here, so EmoSaru could end up walking out of Ice Palace in go mode before even having to fight Cold Stare.
Yeah, she is technically a big key away, but I think she wants a few more things as well once she gets that big key.
Yeah, just gotta find that Thieves Town big key, and then we're good to go. Big 20. Flaafykins finishing up Eastern Palace and getting a nice blue goo to go. So yeah, here's the moment. Ice Palace or T-Rock?
unsure.
I think she's checking Peg Cave. She might, because she didn't have hammer the first time she came
Oh
through.
yeah, that's
maybe?
true. I didn't think about that. She might also. I don't know if she did. She did do the dwarves, right?
Yeah, because she had mitts before she had the hammer. She might also go check powder. That cave.
Oh yeah, she got
Powder was
powder in pod, so
in
yeah.
pod, yeah.
So she's gonna do pegs and powder. That makes sense.
So we're looking for one more item. We still have 2 more chests left to check in Ice Palace, including one of those being on the one and only Cold Stare himself. Yeah, I think there's a blue boomerang in Peg Cave, so nothing too exciting, but
I believe it was a red boomerang. I actually don't remember. Where was the red boomerang?
that was in Spectacle Cave.
Ah, yeah, we kind of just walked right by it.
Come on, Futon. Pay attention.
Saw it. This is what I get for marking it when she saw it. She doesn't have you. Actually, EmoSaru did pick up the blue boomerang from that cave.
What a madman.
I guess it's useful in GT if you want to hit some switches with it.
That's true. That or Kena Samaria, whatever works. Oh, apparently Flaffy didn't do purple chest, so...
Oh, she didn't have the flute at the time, so
yeah,
didn't really have a useful way to doing it.
didn't seem very optimal at the time.
Yeah, and another thing I hate about that bat room is if you are not against that pillar, the powder does not work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's been wrong with me lately, but I keep powdering early.
And then you like powder and you look away and you're like, you look back and you're just standing there still like, what happened?
Yeah, I just feel like I broke the game or something. I bugged it. I have to come back. Darn it.
Cold Stare fight. Done quick.
Yeah, I was almost flawless. I would good enough for me at least.
Alright. It's not over yet. Up 2 chests in desert. That's it. So it is a T-Rock play. Because we have a small key for Thieves Town, but we don't have the big key.
We opened up the 2 chests in desert, but also the
Pyramid Fairy afterwards
with it. So there's 4 before So there's 4 from desert play, and there is, I believe, 7 from the T-Rock play. Because I don't believe she did Mimic Cave. Did she? Oh no, she did. So 6. 6 from the Mimic Cave play, or Mimic Cave T-Rock play, and 4 from the play she's currently going with right now.
It's like our players are going to be syncing up, except one player is going in for the right side and the other one's going in for the big chest.
Yep. Both taking the same path in at least. Surprised EmoSaru didn't go for land molas first, just to
because if he's holding on to the big key, then we're good to go.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a time save, but I mean, at this point you're just playing this Keysanity that's doing its best to make you sad.
Maybe wanting to grab a couple arrows along the way as well.
That's true. Arrows are always nice. You're about to go to some places that could use them. Kind of want to have some when you go to GT, so...
Ice Palace or T-Rock? That's all you have left at this point. What's it going to be?
I think, yeah. She hasn't been to T-Rock yet. She just got the big key recently and has a fair amount of small keys with it. This makes more sense than Ice Palace for me.
Well, the nice thing is that, assuming she finds what she needs... Well, here, yeah, because it could still be at Lamel or Pyramid Fairy. If she finds what she needs, then goes, to Ice Palace or whatnot. She might be able to avoid having to fight Cold Stare.
Yeah, you could skip out that entire ice sequence. Well, not the entire ice sequence, but go to ice, you get the one thing you needed and you're gone.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, EmoSaru has a bit of a lead, just based on the item counts and crystal counts.
It feels like about, I'd say 1.5, depending on how much of ice Flaffy has to do. And depending on where the Thieves Town big key actually lines up, but still could be anything depending on where this key is. If it's right in front of her when she comes through this, she'll save a little bit of time.
Great fire rods.
It's, wow, that short hop too. The level is just going to stick around.
I'm sorry for laughing, Emo, but that was really funny. One of these will hit, right? If I just keep wailing, one of them will work.
No, desert not paying out, so we've got 2 options left.
Pyramid Fairy to T-Rock at this point, so... And the nice thing is she'll be able to go straight to the big chest. The question is, does she have the keys to go to Laser Bridge?
Yes.
She
does.
No, she doesn't. She only has 1. So she can get... No, you're right, she does. That's right. She just doesn't have it to kill Trinex.
Yeah.
But that's not the plan anyway, so...
So you get a free key from a Poke along the way, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Squirrel just walked through her while she was hookshotting and blocked her.
Oh, I was talking about
that before.
I was talking about EmoSaru's key count, not Flappy's.
I was as well.
Oh.
Ridiculous.
Stop bullying me. We said something about a Poke Key. She already got the Poke Keys. There are no Poke Keys.
Yeah.
Good talk.
I don't know anymore, man. T-Rock is a blur to me.
Yeah, essentially this is just going to be one big full clear. I mean, you could have go-moded Swamp. That's about it.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Flaffy, Emo is already going to pass her just walking through here.
Yeah.
The sad part at this point is if the key they get from here is actually like big key for Swamp, big key for Skull, and it just wastes their time. So at this point, they're at the same point, but one is a little bit ahead.
Yeah, having that Desert Palace big key. And we already know that the Thieves Town small key isn't even required, so... But that was in the first chest of ice.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is, if Emo doesn't find it here, I'm almost certain she goes and checks the Pyramid Fairy, but there is that pod chest.
True. Well, no, we've seen both the pod chests.
I doubt she'll go there though.
Right.
She could just waste time running there, but I find
it's always
it
a risk.
Good.
So you never want to lose a race because of that one chest in a dungeon you already did. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to lose a race because you checked all these single locations when you had like all of, all this in T-Rock you could do, and Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to me is they both had different routes through pod, like completely different. So they both skipped a different chest, and they both opened different doors so that they could still do EmoSaru.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
So if one person won because of that, that would have been a huge difference. It would have been really upsetting to find out as well as the other runner. I know I wouldn't be too happy to find out that I lost because I chose the wrong doors in pod to open.
I mean, that's all it takes sometimes. I wonder if Flappy's going to open this middle chest, though.
You gotta make that choice. That key's still missing, isn't it? Where's her key? Oh no, she's fine, I think. I think
she's fine. Yeah. So I guess at this point it would be smart to go ahead and check it.
Yeah. Unless you get the ice rod here and have to kill.
Whoa!
What
it's blind.
is that?
It was blind!
Oh.
That was terrifying.
It is blind. It's just a smaller blind.
With a big head.
I just have to hope that Emo finds a bunny beam so that I can see hers again.
I just hope that Emo shows us 4 perfect laser skips coming up.
With a mirror shield, it would be really hard not to. But I know someone who has messed that up before.
Was it me? Or was it you?
Sometimes you just walk off by accident.
There it is!
It is! Oh my god, there it is. We're done. See you later, game.
Well, EmoSaru, with that big key discovery, is now in go mode.
Well, it's a really sad... Wait a minute. Those were 3 chests right in front of her. Oh, well, I guess she got the tempered sword. She's okay. Never mind, we're good. I was still in the mindset
what are you
that she was
about?
Master Sword. So I was like, wait a minute, there were 3 chests right in front of her that she could have grabbed.
Oh, yeah.
Silvers, but I realize now she has the tempered sword now. It is perfectly okay.
It's interesting to think about, though, the fact that, Emo is in the lead despite having to Oh, I think she skipped Mimic Cave. Despite having to double dip T-Rock, so I wonder if it really was just that hammer holding up Flaffy, or maybe just
The hammer did make a huge difference.
the deaths, the unfortunate deaths in the overworld.
And not only that, but just the way the items lined up for Emo through all of Death Mountain. Like, if you go rewatch that portion, it was actually just everything she needed in a line. Make all of that just smooth. It was kind of nuts.
Just like, ooh, piece of candy, just
Pretty
straight.
much. If that sword was even sooner, she would have done that T-Rock play as well, and would have just saved another trip up the mountain.
Well, except she wouldn't have really saved any time making the T-Rock play. Well, yeah, you're right. She would have saved a little time because she wouldn't have had to make the trip up. But yeah, she did also still never check Spiral Cave, which I think was just either like, I forgot to do it, let's hope there's nothing there, or, oh yeah, I forgot I didn't check that.
You know what? It could have been, I have low health because we didn't have hearts that early, right? And she didn't have a sword. All she had was a hammer. And I don't know if you've tried to hammer a Moldorm, but it's a terrible time.
Yeah, it's not that fun.
So she might have just been like, I don't want to die on this mountain because of something stupid like a Spiral Cave without a sword. She might have actually consciously made the decision not to do that.
Sure. Well, we will get to see all of Laser Bridge from flaafykins' side, and the unfortunate scenario is Emo is in 100% go mode, so she could just go grab the maiden and go fight blind, but Flaffy will more than likely head to Thieves Town next instead of going to Ice Palace. And
yeah,
it doesn't make that big of a difference.
Even
because you pretty much have to full clear this dungeon anyway. So
yeah. If you get gold, sword, silvers here, it still isn't even the biggest deal in the world. Just don't leave, okay.
Small key 2. Wow, there's the other pod key. So 2 pod keys in T-Rock. That's disgusting.
And nothing of value on the rest of the bridge, so Emo doesn't even miss a beat on that. There's no,
yeah, if
no
it was
gold sword, no lacking silver.
If it was like silver arrows, it would have made things a little interesting.
Yeah, that would have helped a lot.
Yep, just as I thought. Flaffy gonna be heading into Thieves Town. And so it's really just that Desert Palace, or the Ice Palace play to get the Desert Palace big key. And once she's done here, she'll have nothing left to do but go to Ice or go check that one chest in Pod. So hopefully she doesn't do that. Small key 2, Ganon's Tower.
Well, that's about as free as a GT you'll get. You got all the keys already.
Well, and with that, Emo has her last crystal. We'll be heading up to G Tower.
Number of 0 to 0 in chat as to where the big key was.
It was in where was it? It was off of Boss, wasn't it? Yeah, Vitreous.
The one useful thing in Mire. It's amazing how many dungeons in this run had absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
This game was very front-loaded item-wise. And then you had to just key finding. It was Keysanity. They were generous enough to give you all the items, but they hid those keys pretty well.
And that's the thing with like Swamp, when you have 9 items you can get, you're like, of course I'll go to Swamp. There's gotta be something there, right?
Wrong.
And what was there? Wasn't there just, it was just the desert key that was useless.
Yeah, and a little bottle that has had no value yet.
So depending on how this gauntlet goes for Emo, as well as Agatu, and then Ganon, this could clock in around like a 202, 204, something around that range.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Which is in Keysanity, that's pretty average, I'd say. It's pretty good.
Yeah, decent time. Kind of what you want to strive for when you're doing some of these more annoying ones.
I remember when I first started doing it, I was like, sub 2, always my goal. If I get sub 2, I'm happy. And like, now, open mode, I'm like, can I get like a sub 130 is like ideal. Sub 145. Like sub 2 and Keysanity is, that's good.
Yep.
It's money.
Every time I hear about those really low ones, like you hear like a 130 Keysanity, and you're just like, I don't...
How?
I don't think you said Keysanity.
I had one seed where I was like on fire. I'm like, I got this so good. And I had like a 144 and someone had a 132. I'm like, how? How did you do that?
Yeah,
How are you that good?
the times on these seeds are extremely ranging. It's
Yeah,
it's one of
all it
it's almost as crazy as the Master Sword pedestal stuff.
Mhm. Oh, definitely. Or even like Triforce Hunt to a certain degree.
Yeah. Well,
It's like
here
one
is
chest, one small key, one check location
yeah.
changes a lot. And it's interesting. The seed could have gone so differently if Emo had like missed the Master Sword, or if silvers were. I don't even think silvers for Flaffy would make any difference at this point. Would make enough of a difference.
No, there's absolutely no way that without Emo throwing herself off of a cliff or something in terms of like play, not actual. I just mean play wise, like
you, you
destroying
probably should.
yourself play
You
wise.
probably shouldn't say that.
I'm sorry, that's not what I meant it to be. I meant it to say as in like if she were to just like absolutely not do anything right in this seed, she
Listen,
will not.
Lieutenant, we don't wish ill will upon our community
Emo,
members, all right?
I really hope you do poorly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
You can't say that. We just need
No,
a
but
Flappy to turn on, fast forward and just turn on that 2x speed.
I don't know if you've played on fast forward, but it's really hard to go the right direction.
I haven't. I don't intend to either.
I do that when I'm playing on my own. It's so hard to move correctly.
I can't even imagine doing like hookshot cave. I remember at like I'm getting off track, but like yeah, just some of those like finer, crisper movements. You're like, oh, I'm falling down. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I gave Ganon a hug. Oops.
Yeah. Even when I started out, the movement gets really hard unless you've played the game for a long while. Changing any mechanic up on how you move would be really difficult.
Hey, I mean, like at GDQ, me and DT did like 2 players, 1 controller, randos, where one person controls like the D-pad and select, and the other person controls all the face buttons and start. And Hookshot Cave was the real final boss.
That lamb almost got away.
Yeah, he was so close. It's funny when you get them killed while their head is stuck in the ground somehow.
He was doing the emu head in the dirt kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so far, really good gauntlet from Emo.
Yep.
No real flubs or anything of the sort.
Flaffy getting the, I believe, final section of the map she needs to do before she goes to desert and then thieves. Or thieves and then desert. I don't fully remember.
Yeah, she still has to do the bomb jump and all that stuff. I believe it's in the key lock section on the right side in Ice Palace where the Thieves Town big key is. Or Desert Palace big key.
Emo 0 out of 27 here. Just been through the dungeon.
I could see her checking maybe 1 chest. That's fine.
I don't know if you would even check a chest here. I think you're feeling good about the 0 on your screen. You just want to keep it there.
It looks nice. I'll leave it. Well.
Exactly. Oh no! What are you doing?
Turtle Rock.
Go back to Turtle Rock. Wait a minute. Oh, I guess it's dependent. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Now you can go visit Trinex and give him a pat on the head. Say good boy.
You can't even kill him. You
Nope.
still don't know where that ice rod is.
No? Maybe it's right here. Oh, Skull.
Boy.
Skullwood's big key.
I'm really disappointed that you ruined that 0 out of 27.
It's okay, you'll survive.
I will.
Well, maybe you should have joined the tournament, and then you could have countered that by having your own 0-27.
Oh, if I joined this tournament, I would have used overworld glitches and got banned right away.
Don't do that.
Flaffy making her way to the bomb jump room, but not taking the bomb jump. You don't really need to when you still have to search the whole place and have the keys.
That's true. And it's a good thing she didn't, because taking that fall there
I guess she has
would
a
have
lot of bombs,
been
but
obnoxious if you had done the bomb jump.
yeah, I've done that. It's not a good feeling. Even if you can just remake the bomb jump, you feel silly once you do that with the bomb jump, because you have to do it again, and sometimes you just don't do it well, and you have to do the bomb jump like 5 times. And it's just frustrating. The pillar's down. She has no trouble going through there again. not a big time loss at all.
Ooh, that's a good setup. Oh, but getting the blue ball.
Denied.
So frustrating.
That is a really good.
Another blue ball.
Wow, that was actually a somewhat difficult pattern, and she still got the perfect setup for it, and the game just didn't want to give her the triple.
That's so rude. I feel like this is the big key right here. Yep, desert. Flaafykins hitting go mode at this point. But unfortunately, little too late.
Yeah, it's insurmountable lead. You need Ganon to grow like 4 times in size and just not let Emo allowed to play to actually.
Well, you saw how she was practicing the fight before the race.
That's very true. She was practicing with not even a Triforce on the ground. Do you win if you go through the door without a Triforce?
No.
Waited a little bit, thinking she had phased it, I guess. I guess it worked out. She's got the top right corner, which is just free spins, so
yeah,
easy phase too. Get some extra in for good measure. And then barely squeak out. This is why it's good that Random is brought back into it. If there were no warps there, she might have been hit by a bat. And Ganon would have thrown it more.
Needs more Ganon hugs. He just looks so big and cuddly and blue for some reason. Yeah, and into finished up phase 3, and then gonna be silverless. We'll find out from Ganon here shortly where those silvers lied. Laid. In his tower. Alright, well, nobody's getting those. Just one. So just 12 spins. And if you time it right, you can actually get 3 per cycle. 3 per torch. But just getting 2 each is good enough for the most part. And having half magic makes this a little bit easier, because then you could use the fire rod, so you can charge up your sword, use the fire rod to light the torch, and then go in for the attack. Oh, missing that one.
Yeah, she's taking it real careful, which is good.
Unfortunately, a little too early on that one.
Yeah. One thing players I notice do sometimes that they really shouldn't is they take this fight a little too quickly.
It's so easy to get
more to fall off.
Yeah.
Than to just take the extra minute even killing it.
Alright, only a few more hits. That's not a fun pattern. That top left quarter.
Every time she sets up her sword so that she can get a quick, easy fire rod and spin, he just goes somewhere horrible.
There we go. That's gonna do it. And right about where I said, 202, 204. So right on 203. But she walks through that door. We can congratulate our victor, EmoSaru. Finishing first place with a time of 2:03:04. There. You didn't get your 0-0 out of 27, but you did get that time.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about first place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
Yeah, that's very satisfying to look at. I'm sure she's wanting to come in and talk about that seed and how much she hated it. So we'll give her a minute to join up. And yeah. Overall, that was a pretty standard Keysanity. There wasn't anything really particularly out of the way or trolly. I'm still kind of very surprised at Emo's ability to double dip T-Rock, but still come out with a pretty substantial win.
Yeah, it was a little bit that hammer, a little bit the way that Death Mountain went, and then just crisp play through the whole thing from Emo.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate flaafykins taking that death whilst setting up the fake flipper to go to the Zora area, where she could have done the same thing that Emo did, and fake flipper to get the 300 rupees out of Waterfall Cave, and then would have given her enough to get the hammer from Zora, and we could have had a very different seed, or at least seen it a very different outcome. But
yeah, there were some other wild points as well, but I'll bring them up when Emo comes in so that we can have bit of a conversation about it, because I think it's pretty funny the way the crabs went, really.
Gosh, those guys are the real final boss. Now, also interesting just how soon these players had Ice Palace open and still opting not to go in there.
Yeah, that was open.
Especially, yeah, especially when you have like all of Swamp Palace. You're like, all of Swamp Palace, which I don't know if it has anything, or even is a crystal, versus Ice Palace, which I know has a pendant, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense the way they skipped out on ice for a while due to the fact that because of flippers it was not in the logic yet, so maybe they're just delaying it on that. But flippers did come up somewhat quickly afterwards, so I believe it was in.
Yeah, they were in Skull Woods, the Vanilla Big Key location. Yeah, Flaffy making her way up the gauntlet. She's hoping that she has as good of a gauntlet as EmoSaru did. We know there aren't any Silvas here, so curious. I wonder where they were in G Tower. Maybe they were in. Oh, imagine if they were like on the torch or something.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to see a single one of those. Man, this GT could be a treasure trove of useless items.
Gold sword, silvers, ice rod, book.
Yeah.
A lot of things that we didn't see, but we do welcome EmoSaru to the chat. GG on your victory. How you feeling after that one? Wait for it. She's muted.
Hey, sorry. I just had to fix my audio settings because things are weird right now.
Hey, GG.
Thank you.
Oh, why did I have you muted?
Wow.
Good job, Willard.
I'm sorry. I have no idea why you muted for me. Huh.
To be fair, she did take a while to get her audio set up anyways, so she wasn't actually responding
good.
to you.
I usually monitor through OBS to have Discord on stream, and I forgot that in my tournament scene I don't have that monitoring on, so yeah.
Ooh, clutch blue potion from Fluffy there.
So how you feeling after that one?
Well, the first like half of it felt pretty great. I felt like I was kind of God visioning my way through the first half of it. Then the second half of it was not so good, and then I started playing like poop, and that was frustrating. But I won, and I'm not like, I think realistically, even if I had done everything I wanted to do better, it would have saved me maybe 15 minutes. So it sucks to not sub 2 on that, but yeah.
Yeah, the only real big difference maker was just the double dip T-Rock. If you had waited, I don't remember where the T-Rock Big Key was. Was it in Mire?
The Desert Torch?
Yeah.
Desert Torch, okay, yeah. You could have, gone into T-Rock once and only once.
Oh, totally. As opposed to, yeah. And I triple dipped Desert, which was a ton of fun. So yeah.
Well, fortunately, for you, your opponent did also have to go through some of those same things, triple dipping Desert, etc.
I was sitting there doing them, and I was like, this is really dumb, but I already committed. So I committed to doing a dumb, so I'm just going to do the dumb.
Good commit.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to suck, you should suck and own it, so.
How did you feel about that glove location at the start, by the way?
I mean, that was pretty funny. There was a lot of that, in the first part of the seed where, again, it was like another one of those seeds where I felt like I was just like, show me potato salad, and then there's potato salad, so I don't know. I felt like I was getting a lot of potato salad in the first half of the run.
It was, well, I remember you didn't have any bombs going towards Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Which I was surprised because you knew about the bush crab dropping bombs, and there's a bush crab right to the west of Mini Boulder and Cave that you could stop by.
I know. I remembered that right after I bailed.
Yeah, and for Flaffy, those crabs giving her the business. I think she died
yeah.
twice to the crabs going to Ice Rock Cave, or
I think it
first
was
time
just
going
once.
there. I thought she died again on the way back.
That was the fake flipper, I believe, that got her.
Hmm.
Oh no, you are right. She did get the wild crab that just decided to change directions right into her.
Yeah, and then she went to go set up for the fake flipper to go do the same thing you did. You know,
Mhm.
go into Waterfall Cave, get the 300 rupees, then go to Zora.
Yeah.
But she missed the whirlpool and then got sniped by
Ooh.
Zora.
Yeah, that sucks.
And
Damn hitbox.
yeah,
It's brutal.
but overall, like the biggest, I mean, that the late hammer for her, because she ended up sequence breaking up Death Mountain, so she had mitts, which sent her on a down a rabbit hole checking all the stuff in Dark World without hammer, which
Totally.
didn't really, I don't know, I can't say it really made that big of a difference since like Peg Cave didn't have anything. It might have put off her going into pod until later, so it's really hard to determine what was the defining factor of what separated you guys so much.
Yeah.
Because you guys did also both put off Ice Palace for a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do it, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'd have to go watch the VOD to see if I can come up with something. But what separated me from doing what I wanted to do on that sea was literally just all the unnecessary double and triple dipping. And I was just like, so when I went up to Turtle Rock the first time, I actually thought I had the big key. Well, not the first time, the second time.
First time you didn't have a sword.
Yeah, the first time I was like, I'm up here, maybe I'll go check it out, and then I remembered I didn't have a sword. The second time, I actually thought I had the big key. I was looking at the Meyer row on my tracker. And so that's why I went up and went through the front, and I realized about halfway through what I could do that I didn't have the big key. But I was just like, well, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna check through Mimic Cave and see what happens. And
yeah, and you went ahead and gambled on checking that one chest in T-Rock that oftentimes players will skip in Keysanity just because, you don't want to have to end up looking for a small key for T-Rock to finish the game.
Totally. But I mean, at that point, I was like, well, I'm here, and I need to try and extract some kind of value out of this trip, because I know it's not going to be what I wanted it to be. So I decided to do it, and it ended up working out okay, but that could have been really bad if Trinex had the item, and I had, come up again later and still put off, I think Ice was where I got the last Turtle Rock key that I would have needed, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Yeah, Flaffy now just starting the Ganon fight. I think heading into phase 2. The other thing that we were wondering about that could have been a big difference maker was Flaffy getting the shovel, because she did Zora with flippers and whatnot. So having that tempered sword relatively early, and we were wondering if you were going to end up missing that sword. Had you missed that sword, would you have gone in search of a better sword in G Tower?
No.
You would have done Master Sword Silverless?
I would have checked all the chests that I checked, but I wouldn't have gone looking anymore. Like, I've done enough Master Sword Silverless, and I had red mail and a blue potion, so I was like, it'll be slow, but still faster than searching.
Fair enough. Yeah, we never found where I wonder where those silvers ended up being.
Somewhere in G Tower. I'm sure they're in the first chest on the right-hand side.
They're on the torch, probably.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere infuriating, I'm sure. I was kind of, like, definitely when I saw the, did you find them in my tower, I was like, ugh.
I didn't even catch that line, actually.
Yeah, there was an audible sadness noise that came from me.
So during the run, we were talking about that Turtle Rock map that you found, and we kept yelling at you to check it, and you didn't check it for like ever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The question came down to, you never checked the bomb hut for Crystal 5 and 6 until very late. Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't remember. We were discussing this.
I mean, I actually... Are you talking about, like, Pyramid Fairy?
Yeah, the bomb hut. The big bomb shop. The guy that tells
Yeah.
you where crystals 5 and 6 are.
Oh no, I never went and did that.
Okay.
Yeah, I always forget about that. So
Okay.
I never went and did it, which it's something I'm aware of, and like, but I don't know, I play so much open and not Keysanity that it's just so rarely a factor that it's something I always forget to do. But because an open, who cares? But
Right.
yeah, it's helpful info in Keysanity for sure.
I had a question and I forget it already.
Sweet. I had an answer for you, but I forgot it already too.
Excellent. We're a good team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, you didn't have the information that after you mapped for T-Rock that what the other dungeons were. Did you plan on going to the crystal, the red crystal dude that tells you what they are earlier?
I never
or just
planned on
forget?
doing it. No,
Oh,
I never
okay.
planned on doing it. I like literally never crossed my mind at all.
Did you ever plan on going back to Spiral Cave?
Yes, I did. If I got all the way to the end of Laser Bridge and didn't have what I needed, then I was going to Spiral Cave, come hell or high water.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one of those things where I was thinking about doing it earlier after that second dip to T-Rock. And then I was like, this is a giant pain in the butt. I don't want to do it. So I just left. And yeah, there was a lot of that because I was just kind of tired and like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Keysanity can be pretty tiring at times.
Right, well, we've got Flaffy finishing second here, the 2:16:09.
It's 2:16:09, so about a 13-minute difference, which I don't know. That seems kind of large, based on how the seed was playing out. I was like, So you could probably chalk it up to maybe difference in execution skill wise, but like there weren't any death set bosses or anything. A couple overworld deaths here and there.
Those hurt the most though.
And even like the lack of hammer jump didn't really make that big of a difference in the end. Because it was funny because you checked one of the key locked chests in pod while Flaffy checked the other one.
Oh really?
So
what was in
the other one was a Thieves Town map.
Oh cool. Yeah, I mean, I figured I was going to get the same number of chests either way. I wanted to make sure I could beat the boss. And because I can hammer jump, I was like, it'll be faster for me to just walk around through the store, go up, do it, and then head to the boss.
Well, that was a fun race. We're going to try and see if Flaffy wants to come in to chit-chat a little bit before we close up shop. Yeah. So, Emo, want to know plans for the next one? Anything you want to like improve upon or work on, or just get lucky again? No. I don't know. It's Keysanity.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know how I feel about Keysanity, but what I will say is that the big thing is just being more patient and not double and triple dipping and remembering the Big Bomb NPC and asking him where the crystals are, because that would be helpful information to have. But no, the big thing was just I haven't played Keysanity seriously in a little bit, and so all the double and triple dipping got to be just silly. So that needs to stop. Other than that, like, I don't know, I was a little bit off execution-wise tonight, but not bad enough that I felt bad about it. Like, at least my Ganon fight I thought was pretty decent. So
yeah, it was good. Serverless, tempered, easy.
Yaga 2 was actually really
other
good.
than that, like,
you just got some.
I don't know, I was a little bit off execution. Yeah, that was some nice patterns not actually. Bad enough that I felt bad about it. Like, and then like a couple not so nice ones, but it was still okay. I don't like those blue balls on Aga 2.
Yeah, it was like every time you get a good setup for a triple, and then the third one's just a blue ball.
Yep, good patterns, bad RNG on the projectiles. So
good stuff. And we welcome Flappy to the room. GG's. How you feeling after that one?
I was feeling better until I saw that done.
Well, yeah. It's usually how it goes. Overall thoughts. I mean, this was a pretty straightforward, pretty basic Keysanity.
that's
It
feeling
really
better
just
until
came
I
down
saw the
to who made the
who went into the pendant dungeons.
yeah,
God.
who made the Ice Palace play sooner.
Ice Palace, God.
Yeah, it was a bummer. I did it really late too.
Yeah, that was the last thing I did before Desert. It was Desert. Big Key was my go mode.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
a
was
bit of a reverse there.
Yeah, it was interesting because Emo ended up having to double dip
Desert.
the T-Rock because she went in prior to getting the big key.
Yeah.
But I think it was you guys were actually in Swamp. You were just finishing Swamp while she was just starting it, but she had already done all of Pod and Eastern by that time. So
okay.
Bit of a crystal lead going in.
I cleared most of the overworld like I usually do.
Yeah,
I did a lot of overworld. Yeah,
like absolutely none of it was left behind that you couldn't get to, or that you could get to.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't get was stuff behind Book and Spike Cave. I never did Spike Cave.
I did Spike Cave. I never got the book, so I never did that, and I never did the purple chest. But
the only thing I didn't get was
that I had left that I could get to.
And
Spiral Cave.
And Spiral Cave. Yes, and Spiral Cave. Let's definitely not forget Spiral Cave.
I was feeling when I saw that Meyer was opened by Quake, I was feeling really good because I decided to do Hera Basement when I first went in there. When the small key was in Hera. When I saw that
you guys were actually in Hera at the exact same time.
Oh, that's funny.
Was opened by
I just dropped her to the bottom
because I decided to do Hera Basement.
Well, it was funny because Flappy had the boots at the time, so she could bonk off the big chest and then just go up and kill Moldorm. While you dropped down, did that, and then went back up.
Nice.
Which was an interesting choice.
Well, I mean, basically, I had to fall down regardless the way that I did it. So I was like, well, if I'm already falling, I'll just keep falling.
That's fair. It's pretty much
makes sense, you know.
I think Moldorm was disappointing anyway. I don't even remember what Moldorm had, but the Sahasra for the green pendant gave you the map of Hera.
Actually, no, it was a T-Rock map.
T-Rock map, whichever.
It was clearly because we were very upset that Emo had not mapped, because you checked the pyramid and found out what the red crystals were, but Emo hadn't. And me and Willer both completely forgot that she hadn't checked it yet, so we were like, it's the last thing she needs to check to find out what everything is. We were like freaking out, like, map, I just want to see what it is, please.
Yeah, because you guys both did Swamp, and then it was like, all right, so the last pendant is either T-Rock or Thieves. We need to know what, and we had the T-Rock big key, so I was like, all right, do we just need the Ice Rod, or do we need the Thieves Town big key? What do we need?
I think by the time I went to Swamp, I knew
I think so.
What was needed.
I saw Futon in my viewer list. I'm wondering if now he was like trying to see if I knew something from my tracker.
By the time I went to
I was using your tracker a lot to start because we didn't have the Keysanity layout here, so I had to.
Oh, gotcha.
I was stealing your tracker to make my own, so I could talk about your key counts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was tracking Flaffy's with the Emo tracker, so I can keep track of all that stuff.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm using the Keysanity tracker as well.
Now I feel bad for bringing this up.
Oh, it's a good tracker.
No, I know, but I didn't intend for that to happen.
I was intending to bring it up before we started.
Wow, what a sellout!
At the time,
I'm
so.
using the Keysanity tracker as well.
Actually asked Sakura to make sure that I was okay for me to like push the tracker a bit, because it is a really good tracker.
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool. Well, thank you for doing it. I appreciate it, and I hope it helps people. So.
Just gotta fix that. The weird black box around the numbers.
You're talking about the weird. It's intentional.
The ugly black box around the numbers.
The secondary option around the numbers.
You DM me what you want it to look like, and I will figure out a way to either support you or tell you you're wrong.
Make them coffee cups for me.
Okay.
I just want the.
I know what I need to do now.
Okay, good. That's good.
The way I have them is, I guess in Pughead would just be like the blanks, but yeah, we'll talk about that. It's not time for this one.
Yeah.
We'll talk about.
We can solve that problem later.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis Lord's coffee cups.
The interesting thing I found on the race was because of the hammer location, it really threw a little wrench in Flaffy's plans over yours because, as you mentioned, you had like God vision through Death Mountain, and it was all that hammer. Oh my God, that hammer made a difference. It was so unfortunate. But the interesting thing about the hammer is, even though I think it slowed you down a bit, Flaffy, because of the positioning of it, but it didn't actually look like it did, because you were both, as Willard mentioned, you were both in Hera at the same time doing the same things without really a dungeon advantage. It was really surprising to see that you guys had still lined up with that.
It wasn't giving us a whole lot of money at the time, but I'm guessing you did the dark room to the old man as well.
Us a whole lot of, definitely. Actually, no, I had the lamp at that point.
Did you?
But, yeah, because I'm guessing I think you went up to Death Mountain earlier than I did. I went straight to the old man Hype Cave, where I got the lamp, and then it was after that, once I activated my flute, that I went up. So I had the lamp for that whole segment.
Okay, yeah, I got into the dark world before I got the hammer, and then I found lamp, and found the lamp in Hype Cave. I'm like, I think at that point the only thing I had left was the in the light world that I could have left the hammer was, and then I found lamp and was Agina's cave and in Hype Cave. I'm like, Zora. I think at that point the only thing I had left
the
was
surprising thing there was
in the light world that I
think Emo, you got
left the hammer
somewhat fortunate at the rupee horde sitting in the fairy fountain. I can't imagine how different this seed would have been without that 300 there.
I was not going to use the words somewhat. I was going to use the word incredibly, because I was fully not expecting to be able to check Zora at that time. But then I got 300 rupees, and so then I did, and that was very helpful.
Yeah, I got there and I was, I think, exactly 50 off because I bought bombs twice.
Oh no! Did you check the bush crab?
I didn't check the bush crab. I checked the level 1. Exactly I was doing the level 1 tree pool. Had 80 rupees.
Do you want to know what bush crabs were?
What?
8 bombs.
8 bombs? Okay,
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
didn't check the bush crab.
I should have checked it. I have this problem where, like, if I come up from underneath it instead of from the side, I always accidentally throw the bush at it and kill it.
I've done that so many
times.
Oh well. So I sympathize.
Yeah, I should have checked it. I have this problem where, like, if
kill it,
come up
go
from
grab the
underneath
one
it instead of from the
next to
side,
the
I always
tunnel trees
accidentally
in
throw
Lost
the
Woods.
bush at it and kill it.
Annoying.
I just
though.
go and get
annoying.
stuck on it.
Sometimes he doesn't even throw anything because of how annoying he is. You just get like one item and it's like, great. Yeah, that was a pretty good race overall.
It's so annoying though when you get stuck on it.
Yeah, I had fun. I mean,
six item difference between the two of you guys overall.
I wonder which ones I did that she didn't do.
You got the blue boomerang because you're weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw both boomerangs and I didn't grab them.
Look, the blue boomerang is rad, and you know, there at the time that I got it, I was looking for some comfort in life. And
I saw both boomerangs and I didn't grab them.
In Turtle Rock or in Ganon's Tower, it was like, I want that boomerang because I like having that boomerang.
Yeah, and the red one was not worth getting because of it being at Spectacle Rock there.
No, well, the red one I wouldn't have picked up no matter what.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 0 love for the red boomerang.
That's fair. I don't pick it up either.
Fighting words.
It just lags the game. Makes me sad.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah. I don't feel bad about my routing. I don't think I double dipped anything big.
Yeah, I think it was really just unfortunate with the overworld deaths, especially the one with the fake flipper. I think that was one of the defining moments of the run.
I don't think I
because as I was saying earlier,
there, big.
Good.
At that time, if I had gotten there, I probably would have had enough from the rupee horde instead of spending another 50 on bombs. If I had gotten there, and then I would have went there. I just decided to leave it till later because I got mad at myself. I probably would have gotten.
It didn't help that mids were also like immediate. Because if it had come down to you needed the hammer to get in the dark world, then you would, you know, that would have been it. But the fact that you found the mids and suddenly you had all this dark world stuff to do instead of going back to Zora just extended that time period. I mean, the thing is though, Flaffy, you had, gosh, I'd have to go back and look, but you had the boots for forever compared to Emo.
Where I think there's second chest in Thieves Town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I got my. I wasn't gonna go into Thieves Town unless I had a weapon, and then I got my sword in Sea House. Where I think I was like, okay, I'll check the first 4. That'll be fine. And I got the boots. I'm like, okay, I'm happy about that. I think I got my. I wasn't gonna go into Thieves Town unless I got.
She got those way
unless I had a weapon, and then I got my sword in Sea House.
Because I had been like casually strolling around Death Mountain for a while at that point.
I'm like, okay, I'm happy about that.
I think you even checked Meyer area. I can't remember when that.
Yeah,
came.
I might have. I don't remember if I did that without boots or not. I might have. I think I might have checked the shack in Meyer.
Yeah, I don't remember the timing exactly, but I think you did that before doing the other section.
Yeah, my I was gonna go up Death Mountain and check out Hera, but I got killed on the way up after I got the mitts. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go use these mitts and screw what's over on Death Mountain currently.
I think you and I approach things similarly because when I have a death at a really annoying point where I'm walking a long distance,
after I got the mitts,
my brain
so
just
like,
goes
all right,
no,
I'll just go use
and then
these
I pick something else to do because I don't want to go there anymore.
I'll pretend that didn't inconvenience me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, alrighty then. That's the race for you guys. Just want to say thank you again for everyone for watching. See you guys on YouTube. Thanks again. Shout outs to both our runners, EmoSaru and Flaffy, aka flaafykins, for having us. Do you go by Flaffy or flaafykins, or does it matter?
Whichever you'd like to call me.
Okay, good answer. So, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to support everyone here, however you see fit. For more tournament action, make sure to follow all the Speed Gaming channels.
You'd like to call me.
Link to the Past Randomizer, link to the Past Randomizer 2, and as well as all the Randomania channels. We're going to be loading them up with plenty of Keysanity goodness. And also big shout outs to Ninban, our tracker tonight, for helping us get through this 2-hour kerfuffle. Thanks again, Futon, for joining me on commentary. And of course, to Dawning Arc, our restreamer tonight. Thank you all, and have a fabulous rest of the night.
There's more Keysanity going on. Check it out.
Do it. Good to think.